Rennick and Noah Stark on track. 1-2. Road America was all Lucas Rennick, taking a second on the field, a lap almost. But this week, we have one more entry than we did at Road America, and that is Noah Stark in the 600. Talked to Noah this morning. Lucas put 4/10 on him this morning, but he knows what he's doing, and he's not going to let that happen. So we'll see if what he says is true. We're going to hold him to that.
Absolutely.
Noah's been racing for a long time. Goes back, family friend of my parents, and he said the last time he ran a regional or anything of this stature was 2014. It was the WKA Grand National in road racing. So it's been a while. He said he's been racing. Obviously, he builds his own engines with the Noah Stark Engine Works. So we'll see. It's all Lucas Rennick up to this point, and we'll see where this goes.
It was Scott Hamble who won the opening round for the 206 Masters, who had a P2 finish in round 2 for the finals. Not with us this weekend, but stays in the championship fight with a drop round. But here comes Lucas Rennick, who, as you mentioned, just completely untouchable last round. And then you potentially have this major upset in the form of the 600 of Noah Stark, and he's faster
there it
for
is.
lap number 1, if not but a hair.
He kept his word. He told us, I'm not going to let him do that. He got him. This is obviously the first year that the Route 66 Series has offered the 206 Masters class, and had a big entry list in Whiteland. A little shorter the next next 2 rounds, but the class is building. Gives a chance for guys like Noah Stark to kind of dip their feet back into regional national racing, and here we are.
Still giving the opportunity for a lot of these guys to kind of plant the seeds to come and rejoin this class. And with a drop round, again, you've got some guys like Scott Hamble, Matthew Burpo, who can absolutely slide back in and join the party. Checkered flag is out. Stark's been holding that lead. Are we going to see a switch? No, we're not. Noah Stark has played the villain and will start on the inside of Lucas Rennick for the first heat. How about that?
How about that? Yeah, he kept his word. He told us. Interesting that 2 karts on the racetrack, scheduled to have 5 in this class. We saw them in the practice and warm-up, but 2 taking part in qualifying. Maybe some tire saving from the rest of the field. I'm not sure. I'm
maybe
just
it's knowing the size of the field and still knowing you got a fighting chance.
Yeah, this would be the class to save tires in, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
So Noah Stark on pole, and with that, that's the wrap-up for qualifying. It's time to jump over to KC Premium and get heat racing underway here at Norway. About to get started for Heat 1 for the K100 Masters presented by Millwright Incorporated. Jackson Lambros joined alongside Kyle Cuthbertson. Kyle, let's tee this one up. It's been a dominant 2 years for Adam Kreppen. Brad Britton finally breaking that streak at the start of this year, but immediately back on form at Road America and trying to keep that ball rolling into round 3.
Yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag here in qualifying, as Nicky Coelho was the first driver in that first session to go out on the slicks and, prove that it was a dry track. So he's on the pole. We got the 421 of Dean
Laffitt.
Dean Laffitt, 495, Nathan Williams, Corey Dominic, Randy Klemek, Ryan Hamann, and then P7 for Adam Kreppen. So down back in 7th is Kreppen. And then Bill Vorpagel, Christian Vomier, and Brad Britton, your round 1 winner, coming up the rear. We look to take the green flag through the tram lines. Green flag in the air. K100 Master is green.
Trying to hang around the outside is the 421 of Dean Laffitt. Still can't get there.
He holds the inside into turn 2.
Manages to get
Takes
that
the lead.
Manages to get that done. Here comes.
Whoa!
Whoa! Big contact further back as 2 karts off. That's the 417. Brad Britton around and only 1 car fully out. Britton trying to jump that thing back on track and gets back going once again. So with that green flag, it's a 6-year drought that has officially been ended, and we've got heat racing for Route 66 here at Norway for the first time since 2019.
What a beautiful track, deserving track to host a Route 66 event. As we are now completing lap number 1. Nicky Coelho still in the lead from the pole. Yeah, this is such a technical circuit. Beautiful track, has that old school feel, kind of narrow, just old school karting circuit. And it's going to lead to some pretty great racing as GFC putting a wheel in the dirt.
Adam Kreppen on the attack, gets that move done. Nuclear start here as there's some bold, brave moves going through Monza.
Yeah, that was impressive. The Monza corner, high commitment, flat out in every category. Really drives like I would say Bristol Motor Speedway in where you have to run the line. And Adam Kreppen getting it done down the inside.
Starting to become a 2-car breakaway here. Coelho and Dominic as top 3 starts to dilute slightly here, but Adam Kreppen absolutely on the move here. Nicky Coelho over Corey Dominic.
Adam Kreppen up to P5. Coelho went purple last lap. Just continuing to get better.
Taking all of that advantage, using that clean air. The iconic green suit of Adam Kreppen. I think the furthest back in the field he's been this entire season. Haven't gotten to see him really work from a position this far back, but he's already getting a radar lock here on Ryan Hellman, trying to take P4.
Through every heat, every qualifying session this year, Adam Kreppen has a worst finish of 3rd. So, right now, as it stands in P5, that would be his worst finish of the season, which is still not bad, but still a long way to go here as you see Brad Britton into the scale line. Tough start for the round 1 winner.
Heartbreaking for the guy, one of the few people able to really bring the fight here to Kreppen as we miss the move. Ryan Hellman loses P4 to Adam Kreppen. Believe it might have been through Monza again there, Kyle. But again, some big moves here from Kreppen as he charges his way forward.
Yeah, Kreppen's really making it happen through Monza today. Now he sets his sights on P3, which again would equal his worst finish. So he's trying to keep that podium streak on the year going.
Side by side further back, Christian Vormier and Randy Kilmeck, as those two will stay where they are. Purple lap, by the way, goes to Adam Kreppen, a 47.246. Still a 2-car breakaway. Coelho over Dominic, but tell you what, Corey Dominic is slowly starting to close that gap into Monza.
Yeah, he's brought it to within 3/10, and not to mention Kreppen going purple on a lap where he made a pass. Usually that'll slow you down, but no, he's the fastest kart on the track while passing.
Still 12 laps to go, so still plenty of opportunity for some movement forward as we're watching the battle for the lead. Nicky Coelho again, as we mentioned, was the first guy to really test the waters here on the slicks. And everybody, I mean everybody, followed suit. And now it's Corey Dominic right in the shadows, trying to get a dig here through the opening section, turns 1, 2, and 3 before they work on to Monza. It's a hard place to overtake, Kyle.
Yeah, very tricky spot. You know, you have to really be committed. You have to make sure that the guy next to you knows you're there, or else it could lead to disaster. You see Kreppen down the inside once again.
Gets it done again. Wow.
Gets it done before the first lap, too. Didn't even have to, you know, made it look easy.
So now you got to ask yourself if there might have been a mechanical issue, or obviously the poor strategy choice maybe in the weather there, going for the wet tires instead of the slicks, but proving that that pace may have been there all along. For reference, Coelho and Dominic coming to the line running 47 threes and twos. Kreppen running 47 ones, no problem. And with 10 laps still to go, this is absolutely going to be a battle for the podium until the very last lap. Are we going to see some aggression here from Corey Dominic? He's watched Adam Kreppen make some bold moves into here behind. He won't do it this time.
It's a tough place to be as you see a replay of Adam Kreppen. Man, what a move. That was just, you know, that's everything. That's just, you know, how confident can you be on the inside of the Monza corner, flat out, guy next to you. You really have to have trust with your competitors in that corner. Still a long way to go here. So we're looking at, I believe this would be 8 to go, or yet 9 to go. Nicky Coelho still leading. Adam Kreppen P3. So I mean, he's driven his way through the field. Fat purple lap again. You know, with 9 laps, who's to say that he can't catch Nicky Coelho? And it's such a tricky place to be because Corey Dominic, you know, could have the pace to pass Coelho, but at that point, you're just going to lose time to Kreppen. So, you know, it's really about making that decision on what you want to do.
2-second gap between Kreppen and Dominic, but consistently about a 10th quicker a lap. So he is chipping away, but he's going to have to get on his horse just a little bit more here if he really wants to close that gap. What do you think the approach is for Dominic right now? He's right on the bumper of Nicky Coelho. Does he want to wait until there's a couple more laps to go, or do we make the move now?
I don't know. If you can do it, I always like the strategy of if you can get the move done for the lead, take the lead. Because too many times I've seen guys wait and take that strategy, and then a guy from behind will make the move and cycle you back to P3, and then your race is over. So as you see him, he takes a look back. You know, I'm sure, I don't know if he sees Adam Kreppen yet, but he might, or Kreppen. You know, there's also the play where Kreppen could, you know, you don't want to burn up your stuff in the first heat. We still have another heat. And then the final, I think P3 is a solid enough, you know, points position where maybe you just wait. Maybe you just start, you know, as we see the lap time start to go down just a tad. Still about a 10th under the top 2. But, yeah, I mean, that could also be in play. And
still points-wise, absolutely. The spot he wants to be in. His major threat of Brad Britton is nowhere to be seen. Already back in the scales after a spin in the opening section of corners. And then Nicky Coelho, who is obviously ahead. That gap is going to close a little bit with these two in championship points. Maybe not on track, actually, as Kreppen continues to close that gap slightly. I think the big thing here, though, Kyle, no drafting help.
Yeah, that'll be a big factor here. As you see, you know, there's 2 long straightaways, and namely the corner before Monza, the backstretch. See a pass for the lead. Dominic, he does it. Just like I said, I would like to be leading right now if I was Dominic, you know, because you don't want to risk Kreppen getting there towards the end. But, you know, now we got a race in our hands. This is, you know, this falls into the hands of Kreppen if Coelho can get back around and this battle can start happening.
And that's an expensive move for both Dominic and Coelho. Not only does Coelho lose that position, but both of these guys lose about 3/10 on track to Adam Kreppen. So these two battling one another allows Kreppen to gain a little bit more ground, work his way into this battle. And with 6 laps to go, it's still anyone's game here on the podium in Heat 1.
Kreppen just keeps creeping up to the top 2. It's there's still 6 laps to go. Time is running out, but, you know, if Coelho can make another pass and you know, maybe 1 or 2 more passes for the top 2, and I could really see Kreppen being right on the rear bumper of Coelho.
Coelho, a no-show in round 1, qualified second, finished third in Heat 1, and second in Heat 2. Not a great final, but ends up third in net championship points. This will be a good dose to potentially take P2 to start off round number 3. Where's Crepin? Now holding that position relatively. Not really. He's gotten with just over a second now. Just starting to get into drafting range, I think, Kyle, and we've got a battle on our hands here in the next couple laps.
Yeah, he just keeps getting closer. The image behind Coelho just keeps getting bigger and bigger of Adam Crepin. And I mean, yeah, we're going to come to 4 laps to go this time by. It looks like Dominic has actually maintained a pretty decent gap to Coelho. I think, honestly, made the right decision in passing. A little bit of a different passing zone than we normally see, as Crepin, that time by, drops to within a second, 7/10 from the race leader, Dominic, and half a second back from Coelho.
What's the hierarchy of needs right now for Nicky Coelho, who's kind of now in this sandwich? Do you focus on putting the pressure on Dominic in front of you, or do you focus more on trying to defend and hold P2 from Crepin behind?
Well, I think in a dogfight like this, once you add a third kart into the fold, your focus in second has to be just getting around the race leader. You want to be the leader, and then you can focus on keeping guys behind you from passing. But he's going to have to do it soon. Honestly, it might have to shift. You might have to start defending from Crepin, because I just don't think he's close enough to Dominic to make it happen, to see the 2 to go flags up in the air.
The twin sticks are out, and Crepin right on the bumper of Nicky Coelho has another purple lap, 147.139. Corey Dominic starts to break away now as Coelho and Crepin are starting to go bumper to bumper as they work their way towards Monza. Are we going to see another late attack from Crepin? Not this time.
I thought we were going to see it there. I was waiting for it. I thought we were going to see another pass into Monza by Adam Crepin. Maybe next lap. We'll see. That's about the only place we've seen Crepin make a move. We've seen passes for the lead and then everywhere but the Monza. But Adam Crepin, he's found his favorite corner to pass in. So maybe this time by into turn 5 will be the time.
And honestly, not the place we were expecting. You know, Monza, one of the fastest places on the track, definitely requires some bravery as we see the white flag, but so much more were we expecting the 7, 8, 9 complex to kind of be the place to, you know, stick your kart where the sun doesn't shine and have a little bit of bravery there. But absolutely hats off to Crepin for being able to carry that momentum. Final chance for Crepin to make this move and take P2 from Nicky Coelho. Are we going to see this move this time by? He stays tucked behind Coelho. Still plenty of opportunities on the table as we work our way towards 7 and 8. Now it's Coelho right on the bumper of Dominic.
If anything, it looks like he almost pushed Coelho closer to Dominic. So let's see if Coelho, I mean, he drops off. I mean, I think Dominic's just really fast through 10 and 11. He creates such a big gap through those 2 corners specifically. Adam Crepin, P3, but it's going to be Corey Dominic taking the win in K-Master Heat number 1.
An incredible comeback drive from Corey Dominic to take that lead from Nicky Coelho halfway in. And how about a recovery drive for Adam Crepin, who goes from P6 up to on the podium. The perfect podium streak continues in 2025. Dean Leifert in P4, Randy Kilmick in P5, and Christian Vomer in 6. Going to step aside to pay the bills really quickly. It's round 3 of the Route 66 Sprint Series here on Kart Chaser.
Feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself, quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
Paulie Massimino wins in KA. Paulie Massimino is a winner in OKN Stars.
Take your driving to the next level with one-on-one coaching from 2024 OKN Stars champion Paulie Massimino. Kart rental options are available if you'd like to keep yours at home, and drivers in all classes are welcome, from Briggs 206 to Mini to KA100 and X30. With in-depth data analysis, onboard video footage review, and lead-follow on-track sessions, each private coaching session will see you end as a more complete driver than when you started. Book your coaching session now.
ready to go here in 206 Sportsman Heat number 1 for round 3 here at Norway Motorsports Park. Jackson Lambros alongside Kyle Cuthbertson as the 206 Sportsman grid up side by side. It's Austin Taylor in the 240 alongside championship points runner-up Will Feidinger as we work our way to the tram line. Big MPG presence at the sharp end of the field. All of the red cars. Eyes on Tori Daniels on the outside to bring the fight to the evil empire of the 206 Sportsman. And onto the tram line. Big slowdown, screen flags out, we're racing.
Big start there. Dominic Gaddis, the field is clean through turn number 1. Looks like they've singled up pretty well. There's Gaddis.
Still side by side, but immediately it's a 1-2-3. As a couple of guys trying to peek out to make moves into Monza for the first time.
That's Austin Taylor taking the lead away from Dominic Gaddis. The MPG 1-2-3 continues through the Monza.
And already some big spread out in the middle of the pack here. That's Vincent Clavatier in the 266 rounding out the pack, but up front.
Looks like Tori Daniels got caught out a little bit at the start there. She's fallen back quite a bit on the opening lap. I wonder, not quite sure what happened there, but yeah, you see Tori back there looking to make a move, trying to make some of that ground back up. There's the 207 of Evan Leish. Just trying to join the MPG group. I mean, once you get a group like these MPG boys linked together in the top 3, I mean, it's going to be tough because they're teammates. They're under the same tent. They're all hanging out together. I mean, they're going to work together until the end here.
So big positions lost there for the FD machine. Tori Daniels goes from 4th to 8th as it is all MFG at the front. A big shove there from Dom Gaddis into Austin Taylor. Not necessarily trying to do a bump and run. It's just you've got nowhere to go to stay on the racing line. And this is that Talladega-like racing that we were expecting to see here in the 206s.
Yeah, not exactly what we were expecting. Evan Leish is keeping up there. Sees same helmet as Will Feidinger. It's pretty fun to see him side by side. It's almost like two clones.
Right.
Back to back. See the second group here. There's the 257 or 247, excuse me, of Grant Heckman
leading them.
Yeah, let's see if Tori Daniels still trying to make some ground up. She's trying to
look into the inside. I believe that's Martinez Crozes.
Thought better of it.
Scary place to do it.
See, the only way to go here if you're in that second group is you have to, form back up together and then, stay in line and just fastest car in front, and let's see if we can catch these boys up front. Evan Leish looks like he's kind of tapered off of the MPG Motorsports trio here.
Are team orders a thing that's necessarily existing in 206 karting?
Not necessarily team orders. As you'll see, there's Tori Daniels. I believe.
Might have made that move. One car off into turn number 1.
That's Austin Taylor. That was your race leader.
Oh, my goodness. And maybe some teammate-on-teammate contact and some frustration there from Austin Taylor, who has been still looking for his first heat win of the year. Absolute heartbreak for the 204.
And there's Dominic Gaddis and Feidinger. They made it out. I mean, that turn 1, that's just tricky. That's tough, man. I mean, turn 1 is flat out, but, it's a hard braking for turn 2, and so you're linked, bumper to bumper, 3 karts in a row, flat out through turn 1, and then braking for turn 2. All it takes is one guy out of the 3 to misjudge it, and yeah, not sure what happened there, but very unfortunate for Austin Taylor.
So now a 2-horse race at the front of the field. Dom Gaddis and Will Feidinger with Evan Leish and Tori Daniels swinging back into P4, who now leads that entire pack. So gets her back against the wall, but immediately swings back, not necessarily within contention for the front of the field, but an incredible comeback drive in the opening stanzas of this heat, nonetheless fending off from Martinez Carrozas and Arlo Barr.
Yeah, she showed she had the pace in qualifying, and poor start, but that's probably for the betterment of that second group, getting Tori out front. If they can stay in line and maybe pick up Evan Leish, it's going to be down to I think Dominic Gaddis and Will Feitinger making a mistake here towards the end because they're gone.
You think there can be any teamwork here from Tori Daniels and Evan Leish and this whole freight train behind the two of them to maybe push themselves to the front of the field? Is that even in the realm of possibility as we're already a third into this thing?
Well, I think you have to. I would expect if Tori thinks she's faster, she'll probably make the move on Evan Leish, and then it's just down from there on who wants to lead the pack. You see Evans just kind of faded back into the clutches of Tori Daniels here. Let's see what happens through turn 4 and 5. Turn 5 is probably going to be the passing zone. She's always
Here she comes.
already looking inside.
Preferred line, how much of fight are we going to see here from Evan? Not much.
Yeah, making it look very easy. So back in the third for Tori Daniels. Very, very nice. Very good recovery from the poor start. Oh! Evan Leish tried to sneak it down the inside in turn number 8. That's not really the place you want to make that move. Just went over the curb a little too hard. That's going to cost Evan 2 more spots.
So big losses there from Evan Lee. She was looking to stand on the podium here. As further up, purple lap goes to Will Feitinger. And the MFG guys not necessarily going fangs out, but they are bumper to bumper. MPG, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, it's you'll see the guy in second in the tow usually end up getting some faster laps than the guy out front, typically.
Ooh, a little bit of a look to the outside here from Feitinger. Maybe trying the later apex, trying to maximize that exit speed coming out of Monza. An attempt for the same here from Arlo Barr as he tries the inside. Gets that move done going into 7 and 8. Good stuff.
We just missed it about 2 laps ago. Arlo Barr held the fastest lap of the race until Feitinger took it away. So Arlo Barr making his way through the field now in the back of Tori Daniels in P4. So, you know, a little bit of shuffling in the second group.
Good stuff from Arlo Barr, the kid from Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Hasn't stood on the podium yet for any events, but in the mid-pack, he has put on a heck of a show wherever he's driven. And with a little bit of help right now, he might be able to get to the bumper of Tori Daniels. Another wide attempt here for Will Feitinger. What's he trying out of Monza?
I think just I don't really have an answer. I mean, you could just be, you know, taking a different line, and you know, there's always, I wouldn't say in junior, but in some, you know, like a KA senior or 206 senior maybe, there's a little tiny bit of aero wash, but I don't think that would be the case here. To me, honestly, man, if I'm just thinking, it looks like Talladega or Daytona when you're trying to get the air in the radiator. That's where my brain goes. But yeah, it could just be, you know, maybe not wanting to be on the absolute rear bumper of Gaddis in case something happens. Could be a lot of things.
Halfway home in Heat 1, and for the first time, it's the guy out front with the purple pace, Dominic Gaddis, with a 52.335, and there might be a little bit of help there from the bumper of his MPG teammate, Will Feitinger, as further back, Tori Daniels and Arlo Barr. Your battle for the bottom spot of the podium is alive and well. Evan Leish holding off Martinez Carosis further back, and a big look there from Martinez, but couldn't get it done.
It's getting spicy for the podium. Lots of good battles here. Heating up, Arlo Barr right on the back of Tori Daniels. See, like I said earlier, when we saw Austin Taylor go off, I don't think turn 1 is your prime passing spot, even though it is a long straightaway. It's Tori Daniels taking a defensive line here into turn number 1. I don't think that cost her much, but yeah.
Certainly a more ideal line maybe in the run to Monza, where you're kind of reaching peak speed, trying to break that draft, I guess.
I mean, turn 1 it's a tricky passing zone, and going into Monza here, this is going to be the spot. See, but she's, as you see Arlo Barr pointing forward, like, hey, like the MPG boys are taking off. Let's
work together.
Not fight. Let's work together and let's go. Let's not let them get much further.
So a 5-second gap. I'm not sure how feasible that is with 5 laps to go, but Arlo wants to try it, and Evan Leish kind of wants to interrupt those plans and get to the middle. He looks again here as they work their way up and over the tunnel hump, and Arlo continues to put the pressure on.
You know, I actually don't disagree with the defending here. I mean, at this point, with 5 laps to go, you know, it's about a 6-second gap to P2. So at this point in the heat, you're really fighting for third. You're fighting for, you know, to the best position I think that you can achieve at this point in the race, and you can come back for heat number 2 tomorrow and get him. So I mean, I can't really disagree here with the defending, as we see Tori Daniels once again to the low line. Arlo Bark still can't get around it. I mean, to be fair, it's working. It is working.
Shuffle further back. I believe that's Nitas Pertolas getting past Luca DeMario at the back of this. Where are we at now? 6-car kerfuffle in the mid-pack. And Daniels, who has not started a route heat, has the potential to pick up some hardware in her first time around. 4 laps to go. And everybody leading this. Everybody still bunched up here in the mid-pack. Another look to the inside. That's Luca DeMario looking around Martinez Carosis. Can't get it done.
This is absolute masterclass defending by Tori Daniels here. We'll see. I think going on the defense, unless Arlo Barr can get Evan Leash to really get on the bumpers, they're side by side. I don't think the outside's going to work. That is close. That is too close for comfort, man. That's crazy.
Some bold and brave moves here from Barr as he tries to use that momentum to jam it up the inside. Evan Leish tries to go with him, but still can't get it done. Starting to run out of time here. And another look to the outside for Arlo Barr through turn 10. Still can't get it done. Some great defense from Tori Daniels as now Will Feidinger gets the purple lap. Oh, big contact.
Oh.
207. It's Evan Leish involved. I believe Arlo Barr as well.
Well, that was Evan Leash and Rhett Johnson in the 223. Unfortunate out of the final corner. See Evan shaking his hand. I hope he's all right. Hope he's all good as he drives away. You're still going to finish the race, but man, that was close.
Looks like another off there, I believe, for the 207 as now it becomes a 2-car breakaway between Barr and Daniels. A little bit of a look to the outside from Barr, going side pod to side pod into the hairpin. Daniels with the preferred line. A big slide there from Arlo, who's able to gather it back up. But another big, scary moment there for Arlo Barr as we're seeing some big things out driving here in the mid-pack.
Yeah, that was, Tori Daniels still defending. I believe that was called a little bit of a prove fade going into the braking zone of turn number 8. That was fun. As we saw also on the edge of our screen, Evan Leash did pull off on the exit of turn 3. And, yeah, we're looking now at the gap. This is 2 to go. Will Feidinger still behind Dominic Gaddis.
Are we going to see a mimic of the move we saw from 2 karts further back? A little bit of a momentum there from Feidinger. Still can't fully close that gap. Going into the 7-8, the Mazzano style section, the flick and break, if you will, as we work our way back over the hill. It'll be the white flag. Dom Gaddis started at the front and has not looked back since. It's been all MPG at the front, but who's going to take it in the first heat? White flag out.
Yeah, no changes for the top spot so far throughout the race, but now's the time to do it. Let's see as we see a replay of the incident in the final corner between Evan Leash, Rhett Johnson, and I'm not sure who the third car involved was, but you just see, yeah, just wheel-to-wheel contact out of the final corner. Evan, it looks like Leash just, kind of.
Here comes Feidinger with another look. Was he able to clear it? No, Gaddis defends to the inside. Through Monza, some bold moves, but again, just not able to get it done.
Whoa.
Here's the big dive bomb. They're wheel to wheel, and Feidinger able to clear Gaddis and take that lead. Where is Gaddis in the picture? Was he able to get back on track?
Yeah, I think he maintained it, but that was a move by Will Feidinger that I didn't expect, and I don't think Dominic Gaddis expected. That was crazy. Pass into turn 8 for Feidinger. He takes the lead, and he'll take the win in heat number 1.
Top MPG, Will Feidinger over Tom Gaddis, and out of the final corner, Tori Dangerous Daniels. P3 finish for her first ever Route 66 heat. Martinez Carosis, and Grant Heckman, P4 and 5. Arlo Barr gonna limp it home in 6th. Rhett Johnson, P7. It was hectic no matter where you looked in the field, whether it was the MPG, the red guys battling up front, and some big chaos in the midfield. Arlo Barr, Tori Dangerous Daniels, and others. More chaos and more karting action to continue here with the KA100 Seniors. Stay with us. KA100 seniors on deck, and it'll be Austin Olds and Shane Reddy getting things started for us on the front row. Quentin McPherson alongside Cale Zimmerman in row 2. Then it's Lemke on the inside of Alexander Kardashian in row 3. Dylan North inside of Wyatt Leslie for 7th and 8th. Cash Perkins and Aaron Bromberg rounding out your top 10. And Kyle, we were talking about, as we look through the rest of our grid here, we were talking about what the kind of vibe was going to be for the KA100s throughout this weekend. And you ask teams, you ask drivers, the word of the day has been chaos.
Exactly. I mean, this is an old school track that everyone has kind of told us it's going to be hard to pass. And, I think we learned in that last heat for the 206 Sportsmen that it's pretty tricky when you're defending to pass as well. I mean, it's a pretty simple track to defend on. And the one corner that we thought was going to be the hardest place to pass in turn 8 happened to be where the pass for the win was made. So we'll see. A lot of hype surrounding this K100 class. Everyone's been the most intrigued to see this race at this track, because we see a little bit of confusion here at the tram lines. They're going to wave them off. Saw a lot of hands go up in the air there.
A lot of confusion there, as we'll re-rack them and try them again next time by.
I think the best part is, if I was a betting man, if you were to ask me before the qualifying who's going to take the pole, I would have said Brandon Lemke all day. Well, we've got a little bit of a jumble at the front. Lemke P5, but it's the kid, Austin Olds from Terre Haute, on the pole with Shane Reddy in P2, Quentin McPherson, and Cale Zimmerman. Cale Zimmerman's second year in KA, coming over from 206. Impressive.
You've got a lot of guys who have not stood on the podium in a heat or a final, for that matter, on the front row or in the top picture here. Cale Zimmerman being one of them, Shane Reddy as well. So a lot of big names here trying to get their way back to the front of the field here and on the board in 2025. And a heavyweight front row here with Austin Olds and Shane Reddy. It's big names. It's big engines. It's KA100 Senior presented by BBS Racing Engines. We're green.
Shane Reddy, a little bit of an advantage through turn number 1.
3 wide going into turn number 1. As we look to get through in one piece. Austin Olds leading us into Monza for the first time.
Austin Olds maintains the lead. Shane Reddy, it's tricky around the outside to take the lead. He had the advantage into 1, but just couldn't hold it all the way.
A little bit of shuffling attempted further back, and then you got the Norris Kart of Shane Reddy trying to put the pressure on. Big check further back there going into turn number 9.
Brandon Lemke and Quentin McPherson getting together. Those were teammates. Lemke's up to, I believe he'd be in P4 now. Zimmerman up into P3. He made up a spot. Yeah, that's Lemke in P4. See the rolled up black flag. I believe that was going to Lemke.
More than likely the warning there for the avoidable contact with his teammate as he advances up into P4. Kardashian in 5th. Leslie is 6th. A little bit of a breakaway here from Olds. Now is there some big racing. One card off further back. It's another Millwright machine. I believe that's McPherson. Yes.
Yeah, McPherson dropping off into the dirt. We saw Shane Reddy put 2 wheels in the dirt. That let Austin Olds get a little bit of a gap as Cale Zimmerman to the inside. Cale Zimmerman up to P2.
So Shane Reddy under some heavy fire here as there's a whole freight train behind him. Lemke and Kardashian, everyone chomping at the bit to get in the podium spots early on. And it's a big-time breakaway right now from Austin Olds. Another bit of a look further back there from Kardashian. Right on the bumper there is Shane Reddy as we're 3 wide coming out. This isn't Pocono, boys. Some big things out driving here as we work out of turn number 3 and a major reshuffle. We're still side by side.
Wow, incredible. 3 wide. That's not something you see every day at this track.
Lemke on the inside, some big losses further back there for Leslie in the 954. Some major losses, was pushed to the outside going through Monza, lost 3 or 4 positions, and all this absolute carnage in the back is letting Austin Olds set for open air and open time.
Brandon Lemke, before this event, said he felt like the target was definitely on his back, and I'm sure being in the midfield, in the middle of the pack here, is not where he would have wanted to be. As you see Cale Zimmerman and Shane Reddy. Shane Reddy going to go for the move.
Wow! Pulled the sneak going into turn number 3, and another reshuffle. Back and forth we go here for P2. Kind of starts to become a 2-car breakaway. Here's your replay of that 3-car insanity as everybody wants to be second best here.
Great move there by Wyatt Leslie that got him into the 5th spot. He had originally gotten around Lemke before. Now,
another big move.
There he goes around Lemke now. He's up to P4. Yeah, great stuff by Wyatt Leslie here.
So now finally starting to see those moves we were forecasting in 7 and 8 where you can kind of really stick it from the top rope as Zimmerman continues to fend off from Shane Reddy. A little bit of a look once again there from Lemke as he tries to get around Wyatt Leslie. But it feels like this is the first lap in our 5 laps of running that it's been relatively single file.
So there was a move, Cash Perkins, I believe that was, getting around Alexander Kardashian is now.
Here
Perkins
we go.
drops a tire, and there goes Kardashian right around him.
Kardashian taking, as it looked like Cash Perkins tried going with him as well, as 4-car freight train further back. Are we going to see another move here? A little bit of a look into turn 7. Everybody trying to capitalize on the exit as a big off there for the 912.
Yeah, it looks like Surgener just went to make a move there in turn 8. As now Surgener might have a problem on the right rear of that MPG Motorsports Kart Republic.
That's the 972 of Aaron Bromberg, who had the big off. Another kart further back, ramping off the curbs big time. But you look at the middle of this pack, it's Dylan North, Aaron Bromberg, Lucas Kilmick, everybody slicing and dicing here for the top 10.
Yeah, huge battle here. Led now by Aaron Bromberg, and the DR kart is now. There's a pass. Ooh.
Alex Kardashian on the inside. Monza requires so much bravery, and that move just barely able to get done. Another bit of big bumper being used there as a major off. 2 or 3 karts involved there.
That's Dylan North in the 926 going wide there. As Surgeon will get around. Looks like Surgeon did not have an issue. Just got slowed down a couple laps ago.
This should go and show you the advantage of being in pole position, because if you are not in first coming out of turn 3 or 4 on lap 1, everybody's going for you.
Yeah, Austin Olds just went purple last time by. He about 4/10 faster than Shane Reddy. I think it's time for the pit stand to kind of tell him, hey, you can settle down now, save those tires, save the equipment. You're good, about a 4-second gap, and it looks like Shane Reddy, Wyatt Leslie, and Brandon Lemke are about to go to war here as we are about to be down to 8 laps to go.
Is this where we finally see guys get into a little bit of a tempo? Maybe not to try and close that gap to Olds, but maybe go and put the pressure, save the pressure for the very end. There's your answer, no, with a big look for Leslie trying to clear Shane Reddy. The replay of that absolute carnage going into turn 8 on your right there.
Yeah, Wyatt Leslie getting around. Now Brandon Lemke's going to look on Shane Reddy. He gets it done into the Monza. Move Brandon Lemke up into I believe that's the 3rd position.
Big chuck to the inside, so some big-time losses there for Shane Reddy.
Now, the thing to watch here is Austin Olds is 2nd in the point standings, and this will really help him out, especially after the drops. Just continuing this weekend, but then you have Brandon Lemke leading the points by a good margin, and the next guy back is Alexander Kardashian. So that move on Shane Reddy, moving Lemke in the 3rd position, gives a kart gap to him and Kardashian, who seems like this whole season has just been chasing Brandon Lemke in the points.
Nobody home. Here comes Lemke on the inside of Leslie, and will immediately slot in at Monza. Are we going to see a swing back from either of these guys going into turn number 8? Big sidestep, almost Zamboni driving there with the rears for the 54, but still can't get it done.
Can't quite get it done. See, now Lemke in the 2nd spot. Now he has clean track, and you're just basically making qualifying laps at this point. So if you're Wyatt Leslie, you're looking at the next possible times. You see Alexander Kardashian now gets around Cale Zimmerman 4th. He's got the head down. He's pushing.
And now further back, you've got Alexander Kardashian and Cale Zimmerman slowly trying to get their way into this battle as well. A big duck there from the 55 of Kardashian, who is trying to keep up with this 3-car freight train, make it a 4-car.
Yeah, he's head down. He's rolling. You can just tell when a guy's pushing by the body language. He's ducking the head down, kind of giving it a little bit of a boost out of the corners. He's He's locked in as Brandon Lemke drops a wheel and lets Leslie by. That'll also let Shane Reddy by. 2 spots lost by Brandon Lemke dropping a wheel in the dirt.
Seemingly no such thing as losing a single spot in this freight train. We saw the exact same thing from Shane Reddy just a couple of laps ago, and now it was Brandon Lemke who made just a slight mistake, and everybody behind ready to pounce on it.
Yeah, just one little mistake, and that's it. Now Alexander Kardashian, I was just talking about the points. Next guy in his sights is the guy that he is chasing for this championship, and that, hey, Austin Olds is going to have a big smile if he comes into the scale line after this absolute beatdown in the heat, and he sees Brandon Lemke 2 positions behind him. But let's see as Shane Reddy and Wyatt Leslie are going side by side, and that'll bring Lemke right back into the fold.
Reddy trying the inside line there on Wyatt Leslie, but Leslie able to carry all that momentum to the outside as he works over the hill. Another look to the inside from Shane Reddy as we work into turn 1. There's another look further back there as Lemke tried to go with him. He couldn't get it done.
Yeah, that move into 1 is sketchy. And also, when you're going into turn 8, 9, and 10, it's a good, this run to 5 here down the straightaway is such a good passing opportunity to where you can pass in Monza, and Monza's flat out. If you take it high or low, you're not going to lose much time. If you go for that move at 8, as we saw a lap before by Shane Reddy, that's you're going to lose a good amount of time, and it's just risky. It's just risky to pass in 8 and 9 and here in this middle part.
So Brian,
well, there goes Alexander Kardashian.
Goodness, big move from Kardashian on the inside of turn number 10. Done deal over the hill.
Yeah, he got it done. That was an impressive move by Kardashian over Brandon Lemke. That's exactly what he wanted. At a minimum, when you're in a points battle, you want to finish ahead of the.
Oh, here it comes. Oh, my goodness. What a move there from Lemke. Major send there from Lemke to get himself back into P5. And somehow, some way, it's Brian Reddy who finds himself back into P2. It'll be an Austin Olds runaway, but still a couple of opportunities for some brave moves here at the very end of Heat 1.
Yeah, that created quite a big gap to Kardashian and Lemke. I mean, Kardashian almost had to get out of the way in turn number 2.
Right.
That was a big send by Lemke.
Sure, there might be a heated conversation in the scale lines between these two as the white flag is out for Austin Olds.
Man, what a great run by Austin Olds here. He's just cruising to this point, lifting a little bit earlier than he normally would, just kind of saving that equipment and just cruising. A nice Saturday drive here, just a little cruise for Austin Olds.
Looks like lap traffic, a little bit of a factor up ahead. Not out of the woods yet, though, is Leslie. Lemke right there through Monza, bumper to bumper. Are we going to see this same move we've seen so many times into 7 and 8? Little bit of a look to the inside. Here's the dive from Lemke.
Yeah, I mean, Leslie, I think, saw that coming, and really nothing he could do there going into 8. Really, he saved himself from losing another spot to Alexander Kardashian. Austin Olds takes the win. It's Shane Reddy in second.
We got one more
third.
lap. I missed the twin sticks. That's on me. We're good. We just get to see more of this action for one more lap.
Well, now it makes even more sense to why Leslie just kind of let Brandon by. I mean, he'll have one more shot this lap. It doesn't look like he's got enough, but we'll see if he can tuck behind Lemke and maybe. No, the gap's just not there through Monza.
Field finally starting to spread out here as I think these guys are starting to settle into the positions that they've been given. Was a little bit of a look there from Lemke, who certainly got the advantage on the brakes, but just cannot close that gap all the way to Shane Reddy. How about Shane Reddy, by the way? Austin Olds with an absolute runaway, but Shane Reddy got to the back of this pack and worked his way back to the front. P2 for Shane Reddy. Lemke comes home in 3rd, Wyatt Leslie in 4th, Alexander Kardashian in 5th. Zimmerman is 6th, Ollie Gaffer in 7th, but it's Austin Olds who started at the front and did not look back. Saw the carnage in his rearview mirrors and absolutely capitalized on it.
Yeah, great work by Shane Reddy. I mean, he finished exactly where he started, but it was not as easy as it looks on paper there. Great run by Cale Zimmerman. Fast lap of the race is going to go to Brandon Lemke in the 3rd spot. Just so much action, so much chaos. Obviously, it was an easy runaway by Austin Olds, but that was just heat number 1. We have another heat tomorrow, and I'm sure everyone saw the rear bumper of Austin Olds escaping in the distance, and they will not let that happen tomorrow.
So a healthy dose of championship points coming Austin Old's way, and boy, is he going to be amped about it. So we'll stay alongside and have you guys keep an eye on that story throughout the remainder of this weekend, but it's the 206 juniors on deck next. Stay with us. Brian Dumont leading things off here for the 206 juniors. He'll be alongside Ethan Leroy. It's Theodore Gaffer and Pearson Golseth in row 2. Brady Shad, championship points leader, alongside Jack Fiber in P6. Colin Eddy in 7th with Evan Benoit in 8th. Then it's Alyssa Eddy and Tyler Contra leading off your top 10. Rounding out your top 10, I should say.
Let's take a look at the rest of the field. Lots of action so far today. 206 Junior presented by Bobby Krug Racing Services. This is set to be a fun one. Braden Domont off from the pole. Last round winner, Outroad America.
Championship points leader. As it's actually Brady Shad who did a clean sweep of round number 1. He is further back in P5, but he's going to try and work his way back to the front. 206 Junior here at Norway. Green flag, we're racing.
See, side by side through turn 1 into 2. One card
big off.
That's the 340 of Tyler
Contra, who is just able to pedal that thing back on. There we go. So coming into Monza for the first time, and it will be...
That's Ethan Leroy.
Ethan Leroy
373.
leading us
373
through for the first time. And Dumont already going to get to work here and try to find a way through.
See, cycling through the first lap, everyone getting settles. It looks like Brady Shad might have had a little bit of contact in turn 8, fighting for the 4th position.
So now Theodore Gaffer is right in this mix as well, with Pearson Golseth just behind in P4. So kind of a double-double scenario here for our battles in 206 Junior. Now becoming a 3-car battle for 3rd.
Yeah, you see the 312 of Pearson Golseth, Theodore Gaffer in the 303, and then Brady Shad there in the 365. They're just, you know, at this point in the race, just try to link up together, stay together. Don't let the top 2, because the top 2 of Braden Domont and Ethan Leroy are pretty synced up right now, and they were synced up in qualifying as well, which led to them going 1-2. So now, if you're Pearson Golseth, as you can see, linking up to the back bumper of Braden Domont, you want to just, you want to break up that duo at the front if you can, and the way to do that is just, not letting the guys behind you battle too much and not, letting them get in the way. See Golseth now.
This should go without saying for the Kart regulars watching, but we do have pushback bumpers on all of these.
Yes.
What's the level of force that really gets it to get off its hinges as we have a look now for Golseth trying to get to the inside of Dumont. Gaffer trying to go with him as well, as there's an inside line working here at Mini Talladega. And still side by side, the inside becomes the outside for a good dive for Braden Dumont. Big off.
Oh, he's on the other side of the barriers.
Oh, my goodness. Able to
Haven't seen that
rejoin,
one
but
yet.
out of the top 10, you don't see that one every day.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for the last round winner. And like I said, this is exactly what they wanted to do. You want to break up the top 2. Ethan Leroy now back down to 3rd. How about Brady Shad to the lead from about 5th?
He's amped. He should be.
Yeah, that was a crazy lap for Brady Shad. Wow.
So that promotes Theodore Gaffer up into P2, which could be his first podium finish of 2023, or 2025, if he's able to do it. And some big-time ducks there from the leader, Shad, pointing, saying, let's move forward together. This whole four-car kerfuffle of Shad, Gaffer, Leroy, and Jack Fiber.
Jack Fiber had a great round.
Oh, here comes
out in
Fiber.
America.
Side by side
Yeah,
with Ethan Leroy.
See the hand signals there. Like I said, turn 8 is just such a tricky spot to get a move done. And it is tricky to get a move done in 5. That's the most ideal part of the circuit, but you really need a pusher. You really need help. You need to be in the draft.
Here comes Fiber.
That's a
Once
sketchy move.
again, going to be 2 cars as now it's a big off for Ethan Leroy, who's somehow, some way able to keep it on the black stuff, but gets some major positions lost in the process.
Yeah, that turn 1 move is just sketchy. I mean, it's that like turn 1 is just flat out, very tight. A single line, you have to get it perfect to run it flat out. And to make a pass there is just, it's sketchy.
Back over to third now. And it is Jack Fiber leading Pearson Golseth, who we haven't talked about too much, as well as Colin Eddy. As all of these guys duking it out for that bottom step on the podium.
Yeah, Jack Fiber needs a good run here as he's sitting second in the points right now behind Brady Shad. Shad obviously the leader right now with Fiber running in third.
So that 2-car breakaway very much becoming a reality as Theodore Gaffer gives Brady exactly what he was asking for, the big help to break away. And now we've got about 2 packs further behind. Here's the replay of that major carnage.
Oof.
As a little bit of air there, it looked like.
Yeah, just sent it a little bit too deep on the inside. You know, nowhere really, I mean, yeah, just sent it a little too hard and wasn't expecting Leroy to be there. It looks like he almost tried to get out of the way in the center of the corner, but, you know, once the contact was made, front bumper went up in the air, no control at that point, just a passenger. And, yeah, off into the dirt. Other side of the barriers, haven't seen that one yet.
That's a no one. And after a win at Road America, it was Braden Dumont who actually came into this weekend as our points leader. And you talk about a major help of points here for Brady Shad and Jack Fiber. This is exactly what they were looking for as another off there. Looked to be the 388, I believe, there of Benjamin Hayu.
See Jack Fiber in the third spot. Golseth behind. And that's Colin Eddy in the 399. I haven't talked much about Eddy sitting in the top 5 position right now.
So everybody trying to find someone to kind of team up with here. And you look further back here, and a lot of guys further back are abandoned, and reckon that's not too good of a time right about now.
Theodore Gaffer goes purple last time by.
So big help there for pushing Brady Shad forward. And you kind of get this feeling of anticipation of, yeah, we're working together to kind of try and work towards the leader as we watch this replay earlier on. The maximum sketch of getting a move done in T1.
Yeah, just like I said, turn 1 is so sketchy when you're on the inside trying to make a move. I mean, it's flat out. You go side by side, and yeah, one little mistake there, you make contact. It almost looks like, yeah, as we look at Brady Shad and Theodore Gaffer, first and second now, just staying lined up, and yeah, the bumper's moving around quite a bit on Brady Shad.
Does that look like it's off the brackets?
It could be. I don't see it shaking around like that unless it is pushed in.
So we didn't get to talk about this. What's the kind of level of force that would knock that off?
I mean, you'd be surprised at how hard you can hit him. You would think that it's minimal, but you could push. You can push. You can make just enough contact to do a bump and run, but you can't punt a guy. You can't just go in and send someone. And you know, sometimes whether it's a brake check, you know, there are other ways to get a pushback that can reverse the call.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I here's the other thing too, is the bumper could be moving if it's a single pushback, because there's two sides on the front bumper, right? So it could be pushed on left or right side, and you know, if only one is pushed in, that'll change what the penalty is. But you know, bumper to bumper for Brady Shad, if that bumper is pushed in, then that will for sure cost him the first place. See a replay. That's where it almost looks like the contact. He kind of got into the back of Domont, and yeah, that's what led to it. By the way, Brady Shad, that's what the move right there that moved him into P2 before he got around Theodore Gaffer.
Just kind of the ability to capitalize on the lucrative moves of others, shall we say.
Yeah, as he goes over the bumps there, you just pay attention to the MG tire stickers on that front bumper, and you'll really get a tell on if it's on the front bumper shaking a bit up and down.
So that's TBD then, with Theodore Gaffer still helping out big time. These two packs, though, further back from Fieber all the way back to Dumont have kind of evolved into a big kahuna of karts, working their way towards the front with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, and same thing like I said earlier, and I believe it was 206 Junior or Sportsman, where you know, you have a 4-second gap to the top 2. So at what point, if you're Evan Benoit, do you just say, okay, we're not going to catch the leaders by now, we have 3 laps to go, do you make a move? And there it is, going into turn 1. Now this is going to be sketchy.
Side by side, and somehow Fieber is able to hold on to it, but there's more side pod contact. We're 3 wide again coming out of turn 3, but again, some major losses there. The minute you get pushed offline there in T1, it is over.
I mean, at what point, if you're Ethan Leroy, oh, he knows it. He's getting freight train.
Giving it back, yep.
I mean, right there in turn 1, on the, when you're Ethan Leroy and Jack Fiber didn't really give you any grace into turn 1, you know, why would you give him any, right? That's what I felt like happened there a bit. And, you know, there's Braden Domont right back into the 3rd spot. He made it all the ground back up that he lost, and around the outside.
Some more attempts
Leroy around
a
Fiber.
long way. Beautiful stuff into the final corner.
That was beautiful. That was a great move by Ethan Leroy.
And now some big defense there, it looks like, from Dumont, trying to fend off from his teammate. But he's trying to make it work all the way around the outside. Still side by side coming through turn 4. Wow, what moves.
That's Evan Benoit there in the 305. Man, you almost would have thought he had an issue there down the front stretch, but that was just a little bit of defending, trying to break the slipstream, kind of like what you see at the Indy 500 with the snaking a little bit there. Jack Fiber now in the back of Benoit. Ethan Leroy leading this group. Let's see what happens in turn number 8. See if they stay lined up. Any pushing, shoving? Nope, they stay together.
Continuing to serpentine. How about Jack Fiber for being able to stay with this group? We've seen so many guys pushed offline going into turn 1 and losing 5, 6, 7 positions. It's not like there was anybody home to take any more positions there, but to immediately get back in that mix, great stuff there.
Yeah, good stuff from Jack Fiber, being able to stay in the mix. It kind of feels similar to his weekend at Road America in some ways, even though he was a little bit higher up the order at Road America, and that's certainly where he would prefer to be right now. But it is Braden Domont in the 3rd position. He's now defending into the Monza.
Everybody
like I said,
following.
There's about a 7-second gap to second in first place. So at this point in the race with 2 to go, yeah, it's time to defend. And it's as we see, there's Leroy trying to go around the outside.
Over-under, actually, it looked like, for Leroy trying to get through. But again, Dumont continuing to hold them off.
Crazy how the story shifts, because early in the race, you know, it was Domont and Leroy working together 1-2, and now here they are defending from each other from an angry pack of karts behind for 3rd.
1 to go. No moves, although definitely some looks from a couple guys further back as we look to the front. It's the power of friendship up until now. Here comes Gaffer to the inside of Brady Shad through Monza. And in the final lap, we have a new leader. Are we going to see a swing back here from Brady Shad. He looks to the outside. Now the inside with a major dive. Gaffer goes very deep going into turn number 8. They're side by side working their way to the hill.
They're still side by side. Can Shad make it happen around the outside? He can't. Into the final 2 corners of 11 and 12. And it looks like the 303 of Theodore Gaffer is going to take the checkered flag in heat number 1.
First heat win of the season for Theodore Gaffer, as the best of the rest is going to belong to Braden Dumont. Great stuff from Evan Benoit and Braden Dumont to work with one another, as everybody managed to coexist in that backpack there.
And we'll wait to see through the scales what happens with the 365 of Brady Shad, as it does look like that bumper is shaking around a bit. So we'll see. We'll let you know through scales and tech how that goes, and we'll look at the top 5. Look at the top 5 real quick. Theodore Gaffer, Brady Shad, Braden Dumont P3, Ethan Leroy P4, Evan Benoit P5, Jack Fiber 6th, Pearson Golseth 7th, Colin Eddy at 8th, Callum Siglia in 9th, and JC Mueller rounding out the top 10.
Still plenty to come here as we are halfway home for Saturday racing here at Norway. Micro and Mini Swifts coming up. Over to Micro Swift, presented by Top Kart USA. Dylan Braun leading us off for heat number 1. He's alongside the number 4 of Liam 4. Austin Taylor is in 3rd. It's Evan Leish in P4. Harrison Apple in P5 alongside Darius Aremba. And it's Cameron Apple alongside Caitlin Daly, rounding out your 8-kart pack.
8 karts here in your Micro Swifts. See Evan Leish running 2 classes. He'll also be in the 206 Sportsman division. Liam 4, the Wisconsin native, had an impressive Road America weekend, finishing 2nd in the final, but obviously winning pole and taking the win in heat number 1 early in the weekend. Dylan Braun, P2 at Whiteland, P3 at Road America, but he starts on the pole here in Norway.
So 2nd and 3rd in the championship on the front row here. You look at Dylan Braun here with a phenomenal opening round, 2nd in every single heat. And Liam 4, couple of heat wins at Road America. So some big names as the championship battle starts to get spicy here for Micro Swift. To the tram lines, to the green flag.
They're clean through turn number 1, and it's Liam 4 around the outside taking the lead. Impressive by the 4 of Liam 4.
Good move from Evan Leish as well, able to hug the inside and snatch P3 from Harrison Apple as we work down the back straightaway for the first time. Side by side, Leish and Apple. Everybody trying to take the inside line heading into Monza. Some brave stuff there as Evan Leish has to hang on to the outside, and everyone straightens out.
Harrison Apple there with a move on Leish. Austin Taylor taking a spot and making his way into the 3rd position. Very unfortunate ending to his heat number 1 in 206 Sportsman, but he'll look to get back what he lost here in Micro Swift.
Lap 1 in the books, and it is Liam 4 out in front, followed by Dylan Braun. Austin Taylor in 3rd, Harrison Apple in 4th, Evan Leish is in 5th. So field is already spread out pretty significantly here at this point in the race, as it starts to become a little bit of a two-car breakaway here with Braun giving chase to 4. How aggressive are we going to see these two be at this point in the heat?
It looks like Dylan Braun is right in the tire tracks of Liam Ford. He's, waiting in the wings almost. Liam Ford a little bit wide there on exit of 8. Dylan Braun almost had a little look inside. They spread out as of now into turn 10. But that's something to keep an eye for. All it takes is one little mistake for Liam Ford, and Dylan Braun is right there.
Further back, you got the two brothers, Harrison and Cameron Oppel, surrounding Evan Leish, the rapid refuel driver, as a bigger pack starts to develop in the middle now. But a good breakaway now for Liam Ford with the purple lap.
Yeah, last lap, 3/10 better for Liam Ford over the rest of the field. Austin Taylor and Dylan Braun running around the same lap times as Evan Leish. We saw him pull the same move in turn 8 into a 6 Sportsman. There he goes again.
Tried ramping it over the curb and was not able to get that move done. Tried the very shallow line as we complete lap number 4.
Now on the side of your screen, you'll see a replay of the accident from Austin Taylor from 206 Sportsman from earlier today. It looks like he thinks he got hit, but let's take another look at it to see if he got any help from behind.
I think so.
I don't know. It almost looks like he dropped the right rear into the dirt.
It's either the rear wheel, it's either the outer rear dropped, or the inner rear might have made contact with the bumper. It's got to be, right?
It almost looks like it could be the slightest bit of contact from Gaddis, but man. But yeah, that's where it all went wrong for Taylor and Sportsman. And here he is in P3 in Micro Swift on his way to try and catch his teammate Dylan Braun. Last lap, about a 10th off. Not quite there, but yeah, definitely going a bit better than it did earlier in the day for Austin Taylor.
Definitely nothing intentional there from his MPG teammates.
No.
Might tack it down to the Charles Leclerc seal of racing incident. But another pack starting to develop here further back as Harrison leading Leish. As further back, you got Zaremba trying to get in there as well.
Yeah, Evan Leish looking everywhere he can over the back of the 18 of Harrison Apel. Busy hands of the 17 of Leish is what I've noticed throughout this race.
You look at some of the onboards, maybe less for the kids who are really kind of wheeling it. It's a little bit more noticeable. But you look at some of the fast guys, it's like watching Indy 500 qualifying. They're hardly moving the wheel at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's about a couple centimeters of wheel movement is all it takes to steer these things. I mean, it's nice and smooth the better you are, right? I mean, it's not like a car, any type of car. About a centimeter to an inch of steering input is all you need.
Which, I mean, checks out because, again, no rack and pinion steering, no suspension. A lot of it is very dependent on body weight. But when you move up and things get really, really fast, how difficult is it for that to get used to, especially if you're going in between sports car racing or traditional big car racing and then jumping back in the cart?
Well, it's kind of like riding a bike, right? I mean, you just, or like skiing, right? It's if you've done it for so long, it kind of just comes secondhand. I mean, unless you're getting into road racing and into something that's as stiff and fast of, say, like a supercart, you're not really, there's not a huge comparison between a go-kart and a car because of the steering input. So, I mean, you're not going to, it's pretty, it's pretty explanatory when you get in and get a feel for it after a lap or two.
Harrison Appel still fending off from Evan Leish. Cameron Appel, his brother, and Darius Zaremba. Must have been an issue for Caitlin Daly because she's massively off pace right now. But still, major positions up for grabs here from fourth back with 7 laps to go.
Dylan Braun just went purple last time by, but just a tenth better than Liam 4 on that lap. Gap is still 8/10. I don't really see much of a change there.
Finding it very interesting that we're seeing. I mean, you look at this whole Appel backpack. I mean, it makes sense for us to see that level, but you look at the top three, very, very spread out.
Yeah, good spread. You see some action here between Harrison Apel and Evan Leash. That's for the 4th spot. Yeah, turn 8 is just a problem area for a lot of these guys. I mean, yeah, that's a tricky corner to get right in one little mistake there.
Right.
And, yeah, that's when you get side-by-side action here for 4th place.
Leash trying to make that move. And actually, that seemed like an expensive one because now feels like Harrison able to really start and stretch out. Now it becomes a little bit more of a battle between Cameron and Darius Aremba as it kind of splits up into a double-double here.
Yeah, 2 packs of 2 here through the Monza. We've got 7 laps to go. Dylan Braun once again.
Is it actually called the Monza, or is
Yes.
it just Monza?
It is called Monza.
The map we were given pre-race is saying Monza, but I'll call it the Monza for you. Little bit of a look again here for Evan Leash as he finally snatches that spot from Harrison Appel. And, of course, the minute I get off topic, there's some action on track. Some great stuff, though, from Harrison Appel, battling with Evan Leash, able to coexist. And going to look to get back in the battle. Ooh, big moment there going into turn number 1. I believe that was the other Appel of Cameron going around the 24. It is.
Tough break for the 24 of Cameron Apel. Just looks like you got the right rear into the onto the curb. We'll see if there's a replay of that. We'll have the guys in the booth checking it out to see if we got it. But just right off the edge of the screen there, right rear tire onto the curb. Now, like I've been saying, it's about an inch difference from the pavement to the curb.
Right.
So you drop a tire off, even on entry of the corner and not just exit, it is trouble.
And
these curbs are just menacing.
And with how small
there
these
it is.
Swift chassis
you can just see
are,
just right rear off the track, spun it around.
You're essentially just board sliding the chassis because it's such a small cart. The wheel isn't grabbing anything, so it's just all on steel.
And I gotta say, in a moment like that in turn 1, I mean, I'm sure Cameron, it's just such a simple mistake to make, and it's not hard to make. And when you're mid-spin, you don't realize what's happening until you're already spun around and in the grass. It takes you a second once you're backwards in the grass to go, oh, that just happened. That sucks.
So Appel definitely going to be frazzled after that move, and he should be because, again, a kind of characteristic that's very unique to this track. Now, this is lap traffic as Caitlin Daly gives way to Liam 4 and Dylan Braun, who make quick work of it, and this battle is heating up big time with 4 to go on the clock.
Looks like Dylan Braun made some time up there in turn number 2, albeit the lap getting through the lap traffic. That's one of the unique things of the Route 66 series is the lap traffic stays on track, as the draft has now allowed Dylan to get right to the rear bumper of Liam 4. Still a couple laps to go, 4 laps to go.
Attempt to bonsai look there.
It looks
37.
It looks like Liam. At first, I thought that Liam was missing the corner and Dylan was able to get under him, but it almost looks like that's the line that Liam has found that's fast.
Trying to go for the late apex there.
Taking a little wider line, carrying a bit more speed. I mean, I don't. At this point, it's working. But it is deceiving on camera. You do think that Dylan Braun's going for a move.
Just totally missing the apex or going for a look there.
We'll see if Dylan can get right back onto the rear bumper of Liam again. Obviously with the rain coming through today and it heating up to about 80 degrees, it's humid outside. You can cut the air with a knife, but that almost makes the racing better, Jackson. I mean, you just get behind somebody and it'll help.
Is it
even
really
more.
Is it really that noticeable of a difference behind the wheel if it's say 65 versus 85?
I mean, it just depends on the humidity and the thickness, right? I mean, air density matters.
I'm Californian, so I don't know what humidity is.
Right.
Braun right on the bumper of Liam 4 here with 2 laps to go. Twin sticks are out in another purple lap for Dylan Braun, running just on the 50s. Here's a look to the outside, maybe an over-under, but no, 4 able to launch.
Man, that was interesting because it just looks like Dylan got underneath of Liam into turn number 2, and you would have thought that Dylan had the preferred line swinging wide, but Liam was able to get the run. Dylan's going to close it right back onto the rear bumper of Liam into turn number 8. This is the tricky corner. And you see, like I said, Liam takes a little bit of a wider line than Dylan, but it's working for him. He gains a couple kart lengths out of turn 10 into 11 here. I'm sure we could see it close back down again into turn number 5. I'm sure Dylan will have another chance or two.
Well, that draft is monumental going into Monza. White flag for Liam 4, and the battle for second is very much going on as we've got another kart around.
That's Cameron Apel again.
For the second time.
Man, that's unfortunate.
And another mistake in what looks like the same place. Into prime spot here for overtaking. If it's not going to be Monza, it's going to be the flick and dive into turn number 8. Right on the bumper here. Thor goes middle to try and defend, try and make that kart as wide as possible. Are we going to see a dive? Not quite, but now the 37 ramps off of 4 and loses that position big time.
Yeah, he just, man, I think he just misjudged the line that Liam took there and ended up on the rear bumper. No harm, no foul, though. Lived to fight another day in heat number 2. Liam 4 takes the win in heat number 1, similar to Road America. Dylan Braun, P2. Yeah, got up on 2 wheels in the last lap there, but still P2. Austin Taylor 3rd. Evan Leash 4th. Harrison Apel 5th. Darius Zaremba in 6th. Cameron Apel drops down to 8th. He'll DNF. Yeah, see, just got underneath of him. Yeah, I think the left rear, you just barely make contact, and yeah, you sink together and bang, you're 2 wheels in the dirt in the air. Yeah. Just simple mistakes that are easy to make, and yeah, but he'll live to fight another day. I mean, you look back at that one and you say, hey, it could have been worse. That could have been a DNF. That could have been terrible, but we still finished second.
Second heat win of 2025 for Liam 4, getting things started on the right foot here at Norway. Here come the minis. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Shout out to the fans watching some Route 66 action today. That's the way to do it.
Weather's actually cleared up big time here from the
chaos. We started the day
earlier
with thunderstorms. We heard some, whispers of a tornado, all this Midwestern tri-state stuff. And here we are. It's 80 degrees. Sun's out. The drinks are flowing. We're out here enjoying some beautiful weather on round 3 of the Route 66 Sprint Series. You love to see it.
Good day for some good racing, and the Mini Swifts are going to continue that energy all the way through. Here's your starting grid for heat number 1. Cam Johnson alongside Michael Sapaika. It's Dom Gaddis in row 2 inside of Simon Jack Klein. Wolf Ettinger in 5th. We'll start alongside Camden Clay as we get to the tram lines. First heat where it counts here for the Minis here at Norway, and it's going to be waved off.
Yeah, not what the starter wanted there to get started here with the Mini Swifts.
And there is your reason.
One straggler here, get back to the field.
Believe that's the 132 of Simon Klein.
If you take a look here at some of the festivities
Send
here
it,
at the
dude.
Route
There
66
we
Sprint
go.
Series. You see the Wally bouncy castle, You got some.
I don't know if that's actually. It just kind of looks like
It is Wally.
We're gonna put that under official
No, it is.
review
I know this for a fact.
as a God-given fact.
Yes.
Okay. I'm putting this up for review right now.
I've seen it.
Off of what
It's been
I'm
at the
seeing
other events.
right
I've seen
now.
it.
Okay. There's no judgment. Let's try this again. Cam Johnson on the inside of Michael Sapika as we get to the tram lines. Everybody back together here. As green flag is out.
Cam Johnson gets the jump to the lead. Michael Supaka back to P2 in the Techno.
Ooh, big check up there. Further back as a couple of slices and dices to try and work their way up.
Ooh, a little bit of movement there in the back. They're all clean through the Monza for the first lap.
That's Tori Daniels
Ooh,
as the caboose
Supaka
right now. Yep.
goes a little wide, side by side. Here to turn number 11. Dominic Gaddis takes the spot. He'll go to P2.
As they continue to dice a little bit of
Simon Klein
check
thought
up,
about it on Supaka.
So Cam Johnson already storming out ahead. Dom Gaddis leading Sapika. Simon Klein and Camden Clay. This kerfuffle that you're seeing on your screen right now.
Remember Will Feitinger, he's sitting there in the back, looming. He had issues in qualifying. Spun out in turn number 1, and then had a chain pop off. Or, excuse me, went wide in the final corner.
Battle for second. Gaddis versus Supaka. As, tell you what, the one place I feel like we haven't seen a move yet is turn 10, the long, seemingly never-ending left-hander before the quick flick to the right over the tunnel.
Yeah, it's a tricky corner. I mean, we've seen it in 11, but going over the hill in 12, that's just, in 10, but going over the hill in 11, that is just scary.
Tell you what, if you can kind of carry your momentum over the tunnel hump, as sketchy as that is, because Kart gets incredibly light, right? Jam it up the inside in 12. It's certainly possible for a last lap, last corner move.
Yeah, I saw it tried in warm-up a couple of times, but just to no avail. I mean, I don't know if it's possible. That would be insane.
I keep wanting to say that Supaka is going wide coming out of turn number 8, but I just feel like that's the witchcraft. It's going that wide arc to kind of hit both of those apexes, and everyone's kind of staying at bay. Another look to the inside here.
Ooh. That was clean through turn number 1 by Will Feitinger.
Taking that position on Camden Clay.
We've seen it time and time and again today. That is hard to do in turn number 1. But up a spot for Will Feitinger, up into P5, up in the top 5.
And Dom Gaddis starting to turn that wick up in P2. He just had the purple lap at a 49.460. So slowly chipping away at that gap to the leader, Cameron Johnson, as another bit of a look to the inside there from Klein, trying to pass Supaka. But again, you got to be side by side there before the braking zone to really get that done.
Yeah, you have to be committed, and you have to make it happen. See, Cameron Johnson still goes purple that time. Takes the purple lap away from Dominic Gaddis. Opens that gap to 1.3 seconds. Dominic Gaddis leads the second group over Michael Supaka just a little bit farther back. Simon Klein and Will Feitinger. Will Feitinger now on the heels of Simon Klein. Already gotten by Camden Clay. Let's see what Will has to say. Nothing at 8.
Stay status quo. Only one heat so far this season where Dominic Gaddis has not stood on the podium. That was the second heat at Road America. You also look at Dominic Gaddis looking for his first final win, being runner-up in both. Purple lap for Simon Klein this time by. So you look at where this title fight is going here as we get into the closing half of this season, and it's really looking like it's going to be Gaddis versus Johnson here for the title.
Yeah, I mean, it was last round, it was Santiago Orioli in the field who was testing for the upcoming USBKS round, and, you know, P2 for Dominic Gaddis. You know, really the top three in the standings have yet to, outside of Cameron Johnson, you know, only one win between these guys out of one round in the top five in
Johnson
points.
winning the final in round 1 at K1, as now Supaka gets the purple lap with a 49.062. Starting to get dicey here as Klein continues to fend off from Fettinger.
I think at some point soon you're going to see Will Feitinger making a move on Simon Klein.
A little bit of a peek over the shoulder there from Simon Klein, as, I don't want to say driving in the mirrors, but definitely a little bit of a reaction there as he goes up to try and block. Fettinger trying the high line. Very rarely do we see this level of patience and maturity from drivers this young as we reach the halfway point here in Heat 1. But again, you feel like there is teamwork and there's strategy for sure in this heat, building up to something.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Like, rarely do you see this type of patience, but I mean, these kids are impressive. I mean, when you were under 10 years old, what was your knowledge of racecraft?
Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, these kids will surprise you, man. Like, they've done this for a while, as this is mini Swift. You know, most of them have gone through the micro ranks, Kid Kart ranks, and yeah, I mean, it's impressive. I was racing since Kid Karts, but a lot of these kids today in the regional and national circuits, I mean, I did not possess that type of ball knowledge when I was 8 years old compared to these kids. It is super impressive what we're seeing.
Do we say wheel knowledge when it comes to racing, though?
Yes, my bad.
We would.
I did not know.
No
wheel.
offense. I'm just trying to assure.
It's the same thing,
Yeah.
but you were right.
Purple lap to the Milwaukee kid, Cameron Johnson, who still holds strong with a 2.5 lead over Dominic Gaddis, as now this really has become a one-car breakaway with Johnson Supaka trying to put the pressure on Gaddis further back as this kind of becomes a four-car kerfuffle. There it is.
2 more tenths for Cameron Johnson. Great race so far for Cam. Again, this would be, you know, if he can go all the way to the final, be win number 2 of the season, that would just be huge in the points. Dominic Gaddis, your points leader, not making it easy in the second position.
Purple lap going back to Simon Klein. All this is really telling me is this entire middle pack here is definitely getting some bonus pace working together. I just don't think it's incremental enough to really close that gap to Johnson. Another look from Supaka trying to clear Gaddis. But everybody being very reserved here with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, something seems to have clicked here for Simon Klein. As you'll remember, a couple laps ago, I was predicting that Feitinger was going to make a move any lap now, and you know, I am for one not in Oracle as Simon Klein now.
Oh, bit of contact there as Bumper gets to rear wheel, and Klein was trying to pounce there as Supaka nearly lost control. Supaka nearly ramped. Gaddis nearly totally lost control.
Yeah, that was an odd one in the middle of the straightaway. But that's going to probably give momentum to Simon Klein now into Monza.
Saw something flying in the grass. Do these guys have tear-offs?
No. No tear-offs
Something's
usually.
in the grass.
There's some type of trash. Ooh, a little bumper there from Simon Klein to Supaka.
Here comes Klein as he gets that move from Supaka. As
Here we go,
that replay.
That was awkward. That was weird.
Cat-like reflexes there.
Yeah, just had to have misjudged the right front bumper to the left rear tire of Gaddis. But honestly, at the end of the day, it benefited Gaddis. Gaddis got a couple of car lengths lead now over Klein. And, excuse me, Supaka.
And Klein able to make the jump on the frazzled Supaka and make that move up into the podium provisionally. I'm not sure if there's damage to Supaka. He's definitely still in there. As you look back, actually, looks like Will Feidinger in 5th is actually chipping away and trying to join that battle as well. The 101, Mark Shuriev in 7th. Unfortunately having a rather uneventful opening heat. But no mistake of his own, he's running a perfectly fine heat. It's just he's unfortunately had no help around him and has kind of benefited from the mistakes of others.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you just have to stay clean through these heats and stay alive. It's a battle of attrition as well as how fast you go, right? As you see Supaka
trying to make that move back, tries the outside, uses all of that momentum coming out of Monza to get to the inside. There was 100% contact going in, and now it looks like someone's going to try and go through. It's the 100 of Feidinger, who has absolutely joined this battle and split the two.
Yeah, that was impressive by Feidinger there. Just taking advantage of Simon Klein and Supaka going at it. I mean, that was a little touchy into turn 8. You know, Simon Klein and Supaka using the bumpers.
Klein would love to be back on the podium after Road America. A 2nd place in Heat 1, a 3rd in Heat 2. And again, just a guy that's been looking for the right opportunity. For sure, some emotion there, it looks like, from Feidinger further behind that's Klein. Further behind is now Simon going to try and make another move on Supaka. Trying the outside, but gets back in line.
Yeah, only 2 laps to go. It's go time here for Will Feidinger. I mean, a good recovery drive for Feidinger, who started far back in the field, and he faded away for a bit, and you wouldn't have expected this. Fighting for the podium, coming to 1 to go. This is the white flag.
Running out of opportunities here for Will Feidinger to get back on the podium. It was a pole position for the opening round qualifying at K1 circuit, and then finished 3rd every single heat for the remainder of the round, and then had a round 2 to forget. How about this? A potential P3 to open his round, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Cam Johnson as he tries to mount his return campaign against Dominic Gaddis, who has absolutely dominated this opening heat. Out of the final corner here, Heat 1 going to go to Cameron Johnson in dominant fashion, with Gaddis not too far behind to keep him at bay. Further back, it is Supaka who fends off Will Feidinger. And Michael Supaka going to get his first podium finish of the season.
Great run by Cam Johnson there. Almost 2 seconds by the end over Dominic Gaddis. That's great for the points. Michael Supaka in 3rd. Will Feidinger P4. Simon Klein in 5th. Camden Clay in 6th. Mark Shuriev in 7th, and Vincent Claviter in 8th, Yakov Shurev in 9th, and Rhett Johnson in 10th.
3 heats to go here in Saturday's heats at Norway, but still plenty to do. 206 Senior, KA 100 Juniors, and 206 Masters coming up. Jerry Fandry and Kart Chasers' own Xander Clements rounding out the back of the pack here. Let's look at the front. Jackson Barr alongside Shane Reddy with Max Kraus, Wyatt Leslie, Miles James, Nagisa Yoshikawa, Diane Underwood, Aiden Leiber, Oliver Gaffer, and Max Janowick, your top 10.
Yeah, as you see the TV carts rolling from the back, we brought it up qualifying. Didn't realize that they did not qualify. Engine issues in happy hour caused Jerry Fandry and Xander Clements to not qualify. They'll be starting from the rear, but Jerry, throughout yesterday, 4 to 6/10 better than the field, so he's going to be one to watch. But it is a big field, 34 entries, or 33 entries, excuse me. That's going to be a tall task, but it is Shane Reddy and Jackson Barr at the front.
2006 Senior presented by Lawson Speed Shop. An incredible 33 karts. See the green flag. We're underway.
Clean start there, still side by side for the lead through turn number 1. Let's see if they can make it all clean through 2 and 3.
Still side by side. A little bit of
two
contact
karts.
further back. They're locked with one another. It's the 516.
I believe that's Oliver Gaffer in the 516.
Now a big look to the inside. The 31 of James.
Max Kraus getting freight train down through in the bottom through Monza. See, there's Jerry Fandry in the back. Quinn McPherson. Ooh, side by side with the 577 of Max Janowick.
Looks like Connor Fashing further back kind of got the side pod out to the grass, lost a couple of positions as a result there coming out of turn number 9, but continues on, gets back in line. But some major reshuffling at the start here.
Some major shuffling throughout the field. That's the 577 of Janowick and McPherson still going at it, which is leading to a bit of a gap being started. Shane Reddy is in the lead. Wyatt Leslie
Here comes
is second.
Leiber on the inside of Barr. Will get that move done through the Monza.
Your pole sitter Jackson Barr kind of falling down the field into the 5th spot now.
And it's ye old 2-car breakaway once again with Wyatt Leslie and Shane Reddy. And it's Nagisa Yoshikawa, the new guy in the Saudi kart, who has absolutely blown us away so far with this pace. Is he going to be able to bring it to the top 2?
See, it's really cool to see a Sodi top 3 here in 206 Senior. See the 507 of Aiden Leiber with the Bobby Krug racing team sitting P4, just went purple.
Had a great talk with Bobby Krug, crew of the Clementine colored karts, giving so many club guys the opportunity to come up and get a taste of regional level racing. A couple of big shuffles going on through the coming into the Monza, and it is the sea of green on the move to the front. And it's the 515 of Luke Norris leading him.
The 515, Luke Norris, followed by Jerry Fandry. Now Jerry's going to be trying to make quick work, up 8 spots already. He's going to be trying to make quick work of everybody here. He only had 15 laps, and we're down to 12 to go.
Another purple lap. Another purple lap. McPherson up in incredible 7 positions in the whole spot, but the fastest man on track right now, Aiden Leiber for Bobby Krug. Currently P7, right behind Yoshikawa.
See McPherson there doing the 206.
Big movements further back as everybody dicing 3 wide into Monza. Dicey stuff there, as some big backoffs had to be done to keep everybody safe.
Not those weren't good hand signals going into Monza there. That was not a friendly hello.
He went to the Paul Tracy School of Sign Language.
Yeah, that was between teammates, and that was because that's sketchy. 3 wide into Monza. I mean, yeah, that's a position in the middle is not where you want to be.
Oh, and 1 kart off further back.
That looked like it was a big off. See, yeah, deep into the barriers there.
See if we can get a number on that. Unfortunately, no. Battle still rages on for the lead. Leslie tucked all the way behind Shane Reddy. Yoshikawa and Leiber are right there as well. And further back, another two pair of Barr and James.
Yeah, Leslie and Shane Reddy now kind of working together as Leslie took the lead away from Reddy. Yoshikawa and Leiber now third and fourth.
Yellow flag is still out in that area of the track. And we'll see if we can find the incident that brought that out. We do know getting to halfway home here in 2:06 senior. Aiden Leiber still the fastest man on track. Has nowhere to put it though, as he's got three fast guys in front of him. Wyatt Leslie, Shane Reddy, and Nagase Yoshikawa.
5:31 of Miles James. You see looming in the background in the Tony Kart, giving the signal. Jackson Barr to let's push and get to the front group. Jackson Barr dropped another position to 6th behind James, your pole sitter. Now it's Leslie and Reddy still 1 and 2. Yeah, this top 4 breakaway now is this is interesting because you know, all it takes is one mistake by Reddy or Leslie that'll really blow this thing up in the top 4.
Now it's Yoshikawa with the lap, who is purple lap, I should say, who is right on the bumper. Everybody jonesing for a move right now, not really getting an opportunity to do so. Are we going to see Shane Reddy pop out and take a move on Wyatt Leslie coming into Monza this time?
Not quite.
Looks like Yoshikawa was looking for it, though.
Well, he was looking not quite enough, though. It's really going to take a big run to separate Leslie and Shane Reddy. These two are just hooked up together, and yeah, that's hard to beat. Ooh.
More FDR drama here. As that time it looked like Thomas Wright. No, excuse me, it was Miles Faudry.
Miles Faudry not happy.
As
that move there, you see Jerry Fandry.
Back on the inside, gets it done.
Yeah, that was Jerry Fandry there on the inside. Getting another move done. That'll put Jerry up into, I believe that would be the 16th position. Or that would.
Ooh, trouble for the 509.
That is
Braden Zervas. The BBS driver.
As Yoshikawa goes purple last time by. Still improving, just I don't know if he's quick enough in the places where it matters to get the pass done. I think it's going to take a big mistake or even a little mistake from Wyatt Leslie or Shane Reddy here. Ooh, 2 off.
504 it looks like.
Zervs and a TV card as well. Those look to be separate incidences. We saw Zervs, he was all alone.
Yoshikawa still looking for a move. Shane Reddy is prepared to make that move for the lead as well. I think if one goes, everybody's going to go, though. So once we see maybe 1 or 2 pop to the inside line, still some teamwork further back with some major trains.
What a run here. Jerry Fandry as he's going to gain another spot on the 577 of Max Janowicz. And that's so on 19 spots up for Jerry Fandry. This is 2 in the lap alone, as timing will show him at 15th, and that'll update him to 13th.
Just past the halfway point. So still some, kind of the first time in a while he's actually had some open air in front of him. So we'll see. He might do a good job of towing this field up to his fellow FDR teammates.
I don't think Jerry was, you know, I don't know if you're not expecting to win the heat from 33rd.
No. Oh, but, big move there. 551 of Jackson Miller sticking it where the sun doesn't shine. As we go back to the front.
Wyatt Leslie, Shane Reddy maintaining status quo. 6 laps to go. 5.5 now.
Do you feel like it's easier to maintain this pace when you're in a giant train like this or when you're by yourself?
It is a bit easier when you're in a train, because if you have someone in front of you, then you maintain, you know, you have braking points and kind of have someone to kind of trail off of and mimic, right? At that point, when you're mimicking someone in front of you, you're not really thinking about what you're doing. You're just kind of going through the motions, and you can be a little bit more consistent and just kind of save your stuff. So it's a little bit easier to follow, I would say, here for Shane Reddy and Yoshikawa.
Everybody bumper to bumper. I guess Yoshikawa always the first to kind of jump to the inside, going through the Monza.
So there's Jackson Barr, who started on pole, maintaining 6th behind Miles James.
Quentin McPherson also kind of stuck in no man's land, your points leader in P7.
Yeah, McPherson's been digging this race. He, you know, right now he kind of finds himself in no man's land with no help, but you can see him doing the kind of the 206 ducking, where he's so tall in the seat that, you know, tucking's not really going to do you much, but you can see him kind of lean back in the seat. You see those knees go in the air, and he's just trying to get the helmet underneath the fairing here. You see he kind of starts low riding, and yeah, it's you know, Quentin's kind of a taller kid, and you can see when he ducks like that, he kind of just goes into normal height of the rest of the drivers.
I think I should just tell people that's why I never did karting growing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was just way too tall, and definitely not because
Well,
I
you
didn't
see,
have money.
McPherson is running 7th and proving that you could have been a
All right,
go-kart driver
all
all
right.
along, Jackson.
Still a 4-car freight train for the lead here with 3 laps to go. Shane Reddy has the purple lap for the time being. As I say, that goes back to Nagisa Yoshikawa. And this is clearly the fastest group on track. That's no surprise to anybody. It's just everybody has this pace and no one's able to put it anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of stuck right now until, I mean, I think Shane Reddy has to make the move, or I don't think from that 3rd spot that Yoshikawa is going to have anything to say here. I think it's probably going to have to come from Shane Reddy, or if any of the two make a mistake, which they have yet to do.
Both Shane Reddy and Wyatt Leslie have not finished a heat or final first this year. Could we see that change? You look at Yoshikawa coming in for his first ever Route 66 start. Are we going to see him end up working his way to winning on debut? You got further back Leiber waiting in the wings. Could we see the same?
We get a Jerry Fandry update, up 20 positions as he is
Dear
now
Lord.
past. That's
Make that
21. He's gotten past the 585. Impressive run. Like I said, Jerry, you know, you're not expecting to win the race here, but if you can maintain this status at, you know, P12 through the first 2 heats, or the 2 heats, and have a top 10, top 15 starting position in the final, then you have a setup to win there. You know, you have an
especially
issue
if you
where
can
can't
move
qualify.
forward the way you
There
are.
it
Here
is.
comes Reddy on the inside of Leslie. New leader for the first time.
Coming to the white flag. Did Shane Reddy go too early? That's the question. Is they're going to come down the front stretch now. White flag. 1 lap to go into turn number 1.
This powder keg is ready to potentially explode. Yoshikawa, what have you got to potentially make a move into second or for the lead? What's Lieber doing? Is he going to maybe give a helpful push to one of these guys behind? The Clementine cars making looks to the inside.
Ooh.
Big blocking from the middle for Yoshikawa. And Leiber going to be able to get P3.
That was a good move there from Leiber. I think, I mean, unless there's something that blows up here between the top 2, I think that was a little bit of putting up the white flag to try and get the win here. I think that probably cemented himself in the P3.
Now Shane Reddy had a good enough gap. He passed at the right time, and for the first time, it'll be a heat win for Shane Reddy.
Thumbs up there from Wyatt Leslie. McPherson up into P5, gets around.
2
Miles
moves we
James
missed there at
and
the end.
Jackson Barr. That was impressive. There's Jerry Fandry.
Jeez Louise, Jerry Fandry take a bow from last to 13th.
Ended up losing a spot there for 12th, back to 13th, but still, nonetheless, 20 spots. Insane.
Action-packed heat as Our main man, Xander Clements, already making it to the scale. And it's Shane Reddy who brings it home. Wyatt Leslie coming home in second. Adrian Lieber in third. Nagase Yoshikawa fourth. Quentin McPherson is fifth. Miles James is sixth. Jackson Barr is seventh. Kyle Lomar is in eighth with Patrick Brunatowicz in ninth. Logan Lomar rounding out your top 10. 2 to go here this Saturday at Norway. KA100 Juniors up next.
Hey, what's up, Caleb?
What's up, Brandon?
You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
It's like $20 a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like $50 a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all of the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.
Let's go race.
Come on, man.
Florida Kart Racers, you asked for it and we're going to bring it. Introducing Florida Karting Championship, FLKC, a brand new racing series coming to Florida in 2026.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself, quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
Paulie Massimino wins in KA. Paulie Massimino is a winner in OKN Stars.
Take your driving to the next level with one-on-one coaching from 2024 OKN Stars champion Paulie Massimino. Kart rental options are available if you'd like to keep yours at home, and drivers in all classes are welcome, from Briggs 206 to Mini to KA100 and X30. With in-depth data analysis, onboard video footage review, and lead follow on-track sessions, each private coaching session will see you end as a more complete driver than when you started. Book your coaching session now.
Something we missed earlier. Major crash we missed further back as one of the FDR karts had one of the biggest licks of the day.
Yeah, great job by the cameraman, Michael here, picking up that shot just right over the back into turn 10.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Ooh, very lucky there to miss the pole as well. Man. See all the water flying up because, you know, once it rains, all these plastic barriers fill up with water and, you know.
I feel like that actually ends up helping it.
It'll probably help a bit, but I'm sure it doesn't help when you get in the crash and then you're all wet.
That's true. Hard to believe that just 4 hours ago we were on thunderstorm delay, but the sun has once again reached through to light up Norway.
The temperature keeps rising. We're up to 83 degrees now outside. Just keeps going up, and the air is keeps getting thicker.
We'll step aside for just a couple more seconds here as they continue to grid, but KA 100 Junior coming up, penultimate round here on Saturday. Benham Abernathy leading things off in KA 100 Junior. He's alongside Tucker Tribb. Landon Buer in P3 with Ryan Moore in 4th. It's Brady Shad doing double duty in 5th with Easton Kabitsky in P6. Asen Dramalov will roll off in 7th alongside John Antonio, your championship points leader. What can he do in the first heat from P8 with Slayton Baldock, in P9. And Brandon Seriaki in 10th. KA 100 Junior, big action on the way here, Kyle.
Yeah, big action here. It was Benham Abernathy for most of the weekend there in Road America until it all kind of fell apart. Crazy final at Road America. And it was John Antonino taking the win. We'll see what happens here with John starting in the 8th position. That's pretty huge to this race to see if John can make it from the back. He's been on a tear recently in national competition. And well as Brady Shad. We're green flag. Turn number 1. Abernathy gets the jump.
Looks like Landon Buer going to try and go with him on the inside as some major losses on the outside going into turn number 1. Abernathy and Buer leading things off. Still side by side as we head into Monza for the first time. Couple guys already peeking out one of the MGK carts.
Antonino already making
inside big moves for Antonino.
Already making up 2 to 3 spots for Antonino. A little hairy moment there between Dromalev and Brady Shad.
Are we going to see a move early on here from Brady Shad? He's already right into the podium positions, but still not able to fully get there. The 820 of Landon Buer with a peak on the inside as we cross the stripe for the first time. Side by side further back.
Side by side farther back. They got everything shuffled back in line. This is Benham Abernathy now with a little bit of a gap over Buer. Antonino gets the jump on Tucker Tribe.
Big move there.
In the grass. That was crazy.
The 870 of Slayton Baldock trying a big move there. He gets rejoined now by Easton Kabinski and Brandon Sieracki, but some big nuclear looks there.
Change for the lead. Landon Buer over on Benham Abernathy. That was passing turn number 9.
As there's
crazy
a major shuffle in the midfield. Still some big looks. Big flick to the inside.
That was the 822 there.
Ryan Mort almost was victim to the over-under as Tucker Tribb tried to make the move back but couldn't get it done.
Tucker Tribb had 2 wheels in the dirt on the front stretch. And there goes Ryan Mort with 2 wheels in the dirt. A little dent there in the front bumper of Mort. Doesn't look like the bumper's pushed in, but just a little bit of damage there to the front end of the 812.
Another attempted move into Monza further back. The 878 of Jacob Majewski look to the inside of Easton Kabinski, but couldn't get it done.
So much action here in KA 100 Junior. And that, I believe, is Antonino up to P2. Not sure how that happened. Antonino up to P2 out of nowhere. That's Benham Abernathy down to P4. He got passed by Dromalev as well.
What did we miss with the purple lap there for the 893 driver?
Up 2 spots and purple. What an insane run here for Antonino. As Dromalev is going to look to the inside, and Monza, that's tight.
Ooh. Side by side, still through Monza, major losses.
Wow.
And John Antonino has the boulder go back to the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, just as fast as he was in P2, he fell all the way back to P5. Insane sequence of events there for John Antonino, as now Abernathy is on the back bumper of Dromalev.
How about Asen Dromalov and the 877, who's now right in this in P2. Benham Abernathy looking for a move as well. Now the purple lap goes to Brady Shad. Antonino's behind all 4 of them.
Looks like Abernathy might. It looks like he had a little bit of a run. But Brady Shad going to be right in the rear bumper.
Looked like another point there from Brady Shad trying to motivate teamwork. Trouble for
881.
881.
See, there's Dromalev on the inside of Boer.
Drag the long
Abernathy
way
gets inside of
around.
Dromalev.
Good
Now
move from
side by
Abernathy.
side.
Gets the Baja Blast colored 897 up into P2, and more losses on the way further back for Antonino. Over under attempt there, it looked like, from Tucker Trieb. And now here comes Abernathy trying to take that lead back.
Antonino just
and
went.
some big sign
Antonino
language
went
going on
wide.
there with Shad and Antonino.
Antonino went wide there and made a little mistake, and it looks like Shad's a little annoyed at that, a little upset.
Was that the message you got there?
I think Antonino kind of pointed at him and said, "Go ahead, that's my mistake, my bad." Brady Shad saying, "Let's go, let's move forward," and yeah, I don't know, Antonino just made a little bit of mistake, put a wheel off. But they're back in line, and Abernathy back in second, Dromalev in third. Landon Boer still at the point. I mean, I would not count out Brady Shad and John Antonino at this point still. I mean, I still think it's anybody's game, really, within the top 6.
Here comes Abernathy with a look to the inside into Monza. Dromalev tries to go with him, pushing Buer up to the high side. 2 positions lost for Buer and Abernathy back to the front.
Man, this is like a Daytona pack race with how many changes for the lead and how much passing is happening all over the racetrack in KA Junior. This is insane.
Finally starting to die down just a little bit as we reach the halfway point for Heat 1 and KA Junior. Brady Shad with the purple lap leading John Antonino. Tucker Trieb still chomping on the bit to take P5 from Antonino. As Abernathy continues to hold off Dromalev. Dromalev looking to the inside. He wants to lead for the first time today, and he does the exact same move that Abernathy did just last lap.
Yeah, you don't want to do that too many times, though, because look who's coming back into the picture. That's Brady Shad and John Antonino bringing with him Tucker Trieb.
Both Abernathy and Dromalev making what we like to call expensive moves in the business. You can go ahead and fight for the lead, but that's going to bring everybody else behind you back into the battle. As now it becomes a 5-car freight train. Tucker Trieb just waiting in the wings to join it as well. And everybody looking to pounce on the 877 of Asen Dromalev.
Everybody status quo through Monza. Abernathy to the inside in turn number 8. He's going to take Boer with him. Brady Shad going to try and go as well, and Dromalev.
He's got it.
Dromalev might get
Here
shaken
comes
back
Antonino
to
the high
P5.
side.
Ooh.
Tries the over-under as they work by the tunnel. And another spot as well for Antonino.
Antonino made it happen. Around the outside, in a place where we haven't seen too many passes.
And Dromolev first to fifth in less than 20 seconds.
Yeah, if you want to talk, I'm saying this feels like a Daytona pack race. You want to talk NASCAR references, it's almost, you go from Daytona around Monza into Turn 8, which almost feels like Martinsville. Because if you get caught around the outside, you're done. You're going back to fifth.
Well, we were talking about the additional big-time G-force. Monza is phenomenal with the banking, right? But you go to this coming out of the 789 complex, this Turn 9. This is Martinsville here. This is big-time G.
Oh, yeah. This is big-time G's.
Still status quo here with Abernathy leading. John Antonino gets the purple lap now. As Abernathy and Landon Brewer try to break away. No one able to do so, though. Brady Shadow right there.
Brady Shad right there in the third spot behind Antonino, or Boer, my mistake.
Oh, here, move for the lead. Landon Brewer gets to the front. Big off further back for Brady Shad.
Brady Shad goes wide. I'm sure that Shad is not going to be too happy with that.
Just behind Dromolev, losing spots as well. And now Tucker Trieb trying to get in the picture as well. Fastest lap all the way back in 8th. It's Easton Kubinski.
Easton Kubinski in the P8 spot. That's purple. That's impressive as the top pack has continued the battle this
You can see
entire
him
race.
way back there in your screen, just in front of the blue car of Seriaki, the AAM kart.
We're at 4 laps to go now. And it looks like maybe the top two of Boer and Abernathy have actually made enough of a gap that they can kind of break away from the rest of the field, and that's exactly what Abernathy would want when it comes to the points fight. As you see, Brady Shad doesn't look to be too patient. See a roll of black flag. I believe that could have been to Shad or Antonino, one of the two.
I'd reckon it would be for Antonino, as it looked like Shad ended up being the victim coming through 8 and 9. Although I don't want to get egg in my face and trying to point fingers there. 3 wide going into Monza.
Tucker Trieb has none of it. Ryan Mort ends up becoming the biggest loser out of that trio, out of Monza.
Starting to run out of time in Heat 1 here. Still, Landon Brewer versus Venom Abernathy. John Antonino just a little bit further back, but he's too busy fending off Brady Shad right now.
Coming to 2 laps to go. Antonino was a 10th better last lap. What was he this time? 2 tenths better this time. John Antonino cuts the gap to 3 tenths, and if he continues that margin, he will be with the leaders and by them by the final lap. So John Antonino making a final charge to the lead. Just 2 laps to go through Monza. Let's see if Abernathy makes a move on Boer before Antonino can get to him. Antonino's right there, and he does. P8.
A little bit of the bumper maybe used there to get Abernathy out of the way. Thank goodness it's a safe rejoin, but definitely a little bit of a controversial one, as Brewer's going to take the lead of this thing once again.
Antonino now to P2. Abernathy down to 3rd. He's battling.
Side by side, Dromolev with Abernathy, and it looks like Abernathy just going to barely get their big move to the inside, as Dromolev with a major move from the top rope to get up into P4.
Oh,
major
off the track for Boer. That's going to allow Shad and Antonino by. Antonino's going to go defensive.
Shad trying the late apex, going the high-low to maximize that exit speed.
Does Shad do anything here in turn 8? Not quite there. I don't know if Shad's going to have anything for him.
Another bit of a look, tries to get the bumper on him. Another look to the outside, but the door is open, as now Shad is open. Through goes Antonino. They make contact. Big moment there. Checkered flag is out.
Looks like Boer just held off Dromolev for the P3 spot.
Side by side further back.
That was insane.
And wow, they're actually going to say it's John Antonino on timing and scoring, who's going to take heat number 1. Brady Shad in second. Landon Brewer will be kicking himself over what could have been with Asen Dromolev and Benim Abernathy. Here's your replay.
Just an uncharacteristic mistake there from Landon Boer, which allowed Antonino to take the lead. Wow. Insane.
And then Chad using the side pod there to defend from Boer, who ended up arrowheading that 2x2 line all the way to the end.
John Antonino from P8 to P1. Insane run from Antonino.
So championship points leader in KA 100 Junior getting things started off here at Norway with a Heat 1 win. We'll step away momentarily, but when we come back, going to start wrapping things up here with 206 Masters. Noah Stark on pole for heat number 1 of the 206 Masters. Last heat of the day here at Norway Motorsports Park. Jackson Lambros alongside Kyle Cuthbertson. So glad you're spending your Saturday afternoon with us here for some Route 66 Sprint Series action as we get set for the unction, the 206 Masters.
Yeah, it's the crazy old men, 206 Masters. This is the first time in 2 events that we've not seen Lucas Rennick on the pole. And yeah, he's Noah Stark told us this morning that he's not gonna, he's a little bit, he's experienced. He's done this a time or 2. It might be his first regional or national level event in over 10 years, but yeah, he's not gonna let Lucas Rennick push him around like he has the rest of the field. Stick up in the air, green flag. 206 Masters is underway. See, Noah Stark gets the advantage into 1. It's been a little bit 50-50 on whether the outside lane or the inside lane gets the advantage into 1. But
for the back, Buddy Daly tried clearing, or excuse me, that was Julian Noel trying to get to the inside there of Lucas Rennick. Couldn't get the move done, and already we might see a pass. Here comes Rennick to the inside of Noah Stark, side by side, going into Monza, but the inside line reigns supreme, and Rennick's going to lead him.
Yeah, Lucas Rennick to the lead early. I think he just knew he had to get to the front as early as possible over Noah Stark. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting. We'll have to see if they can stay together. With only 4 karts in the field, it's, you want to stay as patient as possible. And Buddy Daly staying in the frame in P number 3. So maybe we'll have a 3-kart fight on our hands. Never know.
Only time will tell.
Definitely a different story than we saw at Road America with Lucas Rennick being about a second a lap faster than the field as Noah Stark. He builds his own end. He has his own builds. But then at CW, he knows what he's doing. Road racer, ran Formula 125 laydowns. He's been around the block a time or 2. He knows, as most of the guys in Masters do. This is the class where
being spoon-fed all of the new karting material and hearing about the lie-downs and the open regs we were talking about in Europe and just how crazy some people go with it fills me with so much joy.
Yeah.
It's just a whole world I've not been exposed to, and it has been phenomenal. Lucas Rennick still leading over Noah Stark. He's got the purple lap as Stark is still right there with him. A little bit of a breakaway now from Buddy Daly.
Yeah, I mean, where Noah kind of comes from in lay down enduro racing, it's some guys will build their own chassis from scratch.
Unreal.
Full floor pans, body work, and I mean, even if some guys will fabricate their own body work, but if you're not doing that, you're still buying, you're still, cutting the holes for the tires and, making every single point in the body work as aerodynamic and smooth as possible. So it takes a lot of fabrication and building for those things. So to give you kind of a perspective on what Noah Stark has done his whole karting racing career of just fabricating and building things, that type of knowledge on the over the frame of the chassis and just knowing everything that's underneath you that's important.
I think it's phenomenal that option is still there for people at the very lowest if you want to engineer and build your own kart. And obviously,
yeah, in a world where everything's spec, right?
Well, even still, we say somewhat spec as there's a look on the exit here from Noah Stark. Tries carrying that momentum. A little bit of a block there from Lucas Rennick, but this battle is alive and well. But going back, yes, everything is spec, but you can tack a little bit of an asterisk. This is spec the same way IndyCar is spec. You have a selection of off-the-shelf parts, right?
Yes.
So a handful of different options. But the ability where, whether it's at the very lowest tiers of racing at grassroots like this, or to be able to go all the way to the top, like at Formula One, and still have that openness to develop, I just think that's incredible.
It is very cool. But yeah, here in 206, obviously, everything is spec. The engines are sealed. There's a difference in chassis, and a lot of manufacturers in the 206 division will have a different, body work that you'll use. I mean, you'll see Lucas Rennick there with the scoop on the front fairing, and you'll see Noah Stark choosing to not run that.
That's clearly not to create downforce, right? Or
it is.
cooling.
It's for downforce. Yeah,
Right.
you'll see a
What
lot
is
of
that,
the
cooling?
new
Like,
fairings that they're running now on these newer chassis. A lot of them are used to actually decrease dirty air. As you see, Noah Stark.
Here comes Rennick defending on the outside. Stark back to the front.
And there's a pass for the lead. You love to see it. You love to see some battling for the lead as we now have 10 laps to go. 10 laps, 5 laps in, 10 to go. As we see
And we're one down, Buddy Daly.
Oh.
Pour one out, chat.
Was running P3.
So now it is a 3-horse race with William Palmer, unfortunately, nowhere to be seen. And hopefully not to the point where that's a weekend ender for Buddy Daly.
Hope everything's all good with the 644. And Noah Stark is taking the lead, and it's now a commanding lead. Went purple that last lap as I say, that commentator's curse.
Rennick going to try the exact same move and gets it done.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think you pass that easily to turn number 1. They might just be having fun out there. They might just be, letting each other lead. That won't be the case for the whole race, though.
Well, I think once we get towards the tail end here, it's certainly going to be a matter of, choosing when's the right time to lead, right? As now we got a new place side by side on the exit of Monza, as it's Rennick on the inside.
That's fun. A little bit of
good stuff
shake
from
and bake
Noah
there.
Good style shake and bake.
A little slingshot action out of the Monza. That was pretty cool.
Did you see Formula One?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally liked it. I was surprised that it was as accurate as it was going to be. I don't think it took itself too seriously. But I thought it was a phenomenal representation of not just Formula One, but racing as a whole. We got some fantastic IMSA racing at the start.
Yeah, that was good. Could have used more karting,
I think karting does need its own full-fledged representation.
Oh, you see the little finger flick from Noah Stark there down the straightaway. That happens. Your hands kind of cramped up.
Just trying to feel it out, right?
Yeah. Well, your hands get cramped. So if you put your fingers out, you get some air.
Do you guys use like those grip trainers? You know what I'm talking about? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a big help. Ooh.
Very interesting look there.
You were talking earlier about not seeing a pass into the second to last corner, and we've gotten close.
Of all of the guys that were gonna start experimenting with it, does 206 Masters make the most sense or the least sense? I'm trying to figure that out.
I mean, these are normally the guys who do go to work on Monday through Friday. 'Cause obviously the kids are. Oh, here we go. And there's Lucas Rennick.
Another move.
And Noah Stark's going to point him by.
Late tuck in there.
You were talking about the F1 movie, and the thing that sticks out in my head about that movie was that they built the car for combat. And, I think that's exactly what we're seeing here in 206 Masters is absolute combat.
Just the way that Stark put that extra little nose scoop on the inside. That's combat, baby.
The way he pointed him by, I mean, I could see that. Let Joshua by, right? Like that's
built for combat.
Yeah, we're seeing they are built for combat.
Do you have an all-time favorite karting movie? Not karting movie, but
Kart
like
racer.
a racing.
I'm gonna have to put you on Kart Racer.
I gotta do my homework.
And to all the viewers, Kart Racer.
Kart Racer?
Yeah, look it up.
Is it like a Grand Prix but kart racing?
No, it's actually pretty good.
Oh. I'm hating how I don't know this off the dome as there's another bold move late coming out of Monza from Noah Stark. There is an anime that follows a really young kid from karting all the way up into F4. I'm trying to remember the name right now.
I'm pretty sure Honda produced that.
I'm like 99% sure you're right there. Favorite racing movie, though?
Rush.
Really?
Yes.
Am I allowed to say Le Mans?
Oh, yeah.
There are some people that will also argue that, like, Cars is a genuine, like, racing movie.
I agree.
As
They are going back and forth right now.
This is insane.
And he's pointing by again. Gives him the point. As you going by, I'll take the top
I think this
lane.
is just genuine teamwork
You know
and
what's
just
crazy
keeping each other at bay.
Is Noah's the only guy I've seen all day that can take the top lane around Monza and then slingshot under him on the exit. I think he is purposely taking a higher line and then just slingshotting the. I don't understand.
To be fair, this is the last heat of the day, and they are dealing with the most rubbered in the track has been
That
for
is
a while.
true. That is true. You get under the rubber. So now we have 4 to go. This race is absolutely just blown past us. Now it's Lucas Rennick in the lead. We'll see. If
So when is the finger going to start to go away and Lucas Rennick goes, "No, sir, you cannot pass me"?
I don't know. Well, like at this point, I think they're gapping each other perfectly to the point where you see now Noah's right on the back bumper perfectly once again. I mean, I don't know. Noah told us this morning that he knows what he's doing. So
Clearly has had some, not a lot of regional experience, but definitely some club racing under his belt and has been turning laps. So
oh yeah,
not an absolute stranger to being in this race car for
Not at all.
to being in this cart for over a decade. But Rennick exactly where he wants to be.
personal
right
best
now.
lap for Lucas Rennick last time by.
I'm curious what the fastest group has been all day, because we've seen some guys get into the 49s.
I think it was KA Senior.
Probably KA seniors, right? Even though they're the heaviest.
3 laps to go. Stark right back on the rear
Are we
bumper.
going to see this move
I think
again
he could,
from Stark?
He could do something in 8 if he really wanted to.
I'm amazed we haven't seen a bonsai move.
We're at that point now with 3 to go.
And passing is no longer allowed as per the lack of gestures from Lucas Rennick.
We come down now to 2 laps to go. You see Stark close back onto the rear bumper of Rennick. See, does he do anything into 5? That's going to be the real question this lap.
Study for a move here and then make it on the final lap.
Yeah. I mean, that has to be it, right? He gets such a
Good
good
momentum
run.
there. That's what's blowing me away.
He gets such a good run out of Monza.
The ability to carry that momentum for the 600 kart has been absolutely phenomenal. Huge thanks to all of you for sticking around here as we are getting into the final 2 laps for Saturday here in Chicago. As action continues tomorrow morning with warm-ups and the green flag at 8 a.m. Final lap here, Rennick versus Stark. The trade-off stopped about 3-4 laps ago, and there's been some heavy defense. Not too much of a block here. Stark gonna try and get through. Big fight, though, from Rennick, who tries to hang on to the outside through Monza, now tucks back in.
Coming into turn number 8, Stark still has the advantage. I don't know. I don't see another place where Rennick can come back unless he can get a run out of the final corner and maybe get by him before the start-finish line, but that's unlikely.
Out of the final corner. Little bit of a run here, but when he crosses this line, the streak is going to be over. Checkered flag, Noah Stark going to take Heat 1 for the 206 Masters. And a small field, but some big battles to wrap us up here in Saturday.
Shout out Noah Stark and Lucas Rennick. Nice little battle there the entire race. It looks like they had fun. You see Noah Stark, Lucas Rennick, William Palmer finishing 3rd, and Buddy Daly, the only DNF. A nice little fist pump point to the side pod for Noah Stark. They're having fun.
And we've had a blast in the booth here as well, and we hope all of you enjoyed watching as much as me and Kyle have commentating for you. A huge thanks to all of you for tuning in here for day one of Route 66 action from Norway Motorsports Park. Our producer is Emery Lydia, and for everyone at Kart Chaser alongside Kyle Cuthbertson, I'm Jackson Lambros, reminding you to tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for warm-ups for Sunday action here from Norway. I'm Jackson Lambros saying thank you so much for watching. Till next time here from Norway.